Mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2. All praises to the creator, the God maker. The maker of suns, moons, and stars. Always was, is, and never shall be. Mighty and great spirit, the mighty and great I am. Y'all drop a vortex in the chat. Spin them vortices if you can hear me talking in this deal. Creator gang still cooking, baby. Let's rock.
So y'all want to say that the brother won? Y'all can say what you want to. Y'all voted the way y'all voted. I ain't hurt.
King Selah Shalom, another victory. Hail meet the king, cause that's what it tend to be. War child got crushed, I took him out his misery. Swing swords cut his vocal cords quite sufficiently. Zion under my feet met his defeat instantly. Trying to compete, run a retreat before you mention me. In the Coliseum, I got eyes on my enemies. In mausoleums, I'ma leave them for coming centuries. Headshot fatal, couldn't recover from his injuries. Bloody gore, ligaments tore. Did him vicious, gut him to the core. Give him some more, straight consistent, settle the score. Cause I'm for sure, another victor. Cut through Zion like a knife. Decapitate, take life. Put his head on the altar for the ultimate sacrifice. For years you've been living lies, following the myth in the sky. Greco-Roman theology through Ethiopian eyes. You just as blind as Christians who thinking Jesus is why. Truth in front your face and you seem they can't get it right. Jah Rastafari, not gonna save your life. Real killers moving silence in the shadow of night. The sleeping giant awoke, you know it's been a while. Coming out of hibernation, hungry, thirsty on the prowl. When the conquering lion growling, echoes about a mile. I'm the real God of war, this nigga just a war child. Sacrifice him to his God, now his soul's immortal. Walking through the valley of death on brimstone town. Zion wanted smoke, got suffocated by poison clouds. If you can't take the heat, get the hell out the kitchen now. Standing on my square, I'm here to retain the crown. This debate Coliseum, I'm bringing the building down. 2 years ago, we told you what new sheriff was in town. Battle of the holy books, bitch, we back you niggas down.
Woo!
Kill shot.
Man, it's hot up in this place, man.
We gotta hear that again, baby. We got to hear that one again, boy. My boy, salute to the God, Selah Shalom, man.
So y'all want to say that the brother won? Y'all can say what you want to. Y'all voted the way y'all voted. I ain't hurt.
King Selah Shalom, another victory. Hail meet the king, cause that's what it tend to be. War child got crushed.
Misery, boy. Yeah, that's the Ethiopian Jabari. Yeah, he got destroyed. Hey, Bronze, email me. Did you do a video to that JJ dish, that Lions Den dish you had? If you did a video, send me the link to it. If not, if you just did an audio, email it to me. Email it to me. honor-humility-stl@gmail.com so I can play that deal. You know what I mean? Bronze got off too. I was like, look at these bros getting off. Getting off, boy. Now, I'm telling you, boy, CGG is the new wave. The rest of y'all just, I don't even know if you want to call it drops of spit. But the gang, the new wave, baby. I'm trying to tell you. Let me start this over, boy. Hey, Selah killed this dude, man. In the booth and just the whole debate, it got ugly. It got ugly. You know what I mean? It got real ugly. And it's been like that for a minute now, too. They're dealing with all, our Israelite nation, Israelite family. You know what I mean? It's been like that for a minute, man. They all stumbling over each other, arguing over Bible precepts and all that. And it's like, look, it ain't like none of y'all got reading comprehension skills. You know how to read, don't you? You ain't arrived at the point to understand, man, why is the Bible saying different things on every topic? The Bible is saying something different. Every topic. It ain't like, you know what I mean? It ain't like you lack reading comprehension skills and don't know how to, understand what you read. Oh, y'all grown. You know how to read. So the fact that whether we talking about Christianity or whether we talking about Bible or Ethiopian Bibles or Qurans, and you never ask yourself, the crazy part is this. People say, oh, brother, you just don't got the spirit. You just don't have the spirit, brother. You dig? As if you don't know how to read. You see? Now, you got people who claim they believe in everything cover to cover, every parentheses, colon, semicolon, period, comma, right? But none of these men agree. They all argue over biblical precepts and what this means in the Greek. Negroes are arguing over Greek. Negroes, look. Creative gang is the new wave, period. If you Negroes are drops of spit, maybe, but we the wave. Right? And don't none of y'all want to address the elephant in the room. Shout out to my little bro, Young Prince, man. I heard light bombing. Boy, Prince is more than a thorn in that boy Tazoryak side. Tazoryak can't stand Prince, boy. And Prince steady shooting. But see, that's what it is. Y'all don't want to hear us. We put shooters in the streets then. Prince keep punching on that boy. Keep punching on him. And as you see, look, man, it's all fluff. It's all fluff. Just like with the Negro Zion War, it just sound good. Huh? It just sound good. But when you walk somebody down with this, when you put them in the corner, ain't no tap dancing. Ain't no Gregory Hansen. Ain't none of that. You sit here and take these bows. Take these bombs. We're not even gonna play the game. You dig? So shout out to the CGG, man. All the brothers and sisters. You dig? Man, ain't nothing but love for y'all, man. Love, light, and all that good stuff in between. Keep bombing. We ain't tripping on what nobody got to say. So what? So and so don't like that. So and what that mean? What that mean? And let me say this too, because I just had a few words. Well, really wasn't even a few words. It was just more confirmation. You know what I mean? With other men that I know. And I'm gonna tell y'all this. Y'all sound real goofy and childlike. It's okay to disagree. You understand? Like we can't force nothing when we talking about on nobody. So it's okay to disagree. But if you got the nerve to twist your mouth, and pop your mouth as if we don't know what we talking about, but then we say, all right, Wolf, get in the ring. And you like, oh, no, I don't debate. Well, go sit down somewhere. Keep your disagreement to yourself. You know what I mean? It's okay to disagree, but don't pop it as if we ain't walked all you boys down. Don't pop it as if we ain't ran through the entire conscious community and exposed it all. To the point that now all y'all saying creator now, that's what's up. You're welcome. You dig? I mean, and that go for everybody. It don't matter. Affiliated or not. Don't pop it if you ain't ready to get in the ring. Because that's what we on. If you ain't if you ain't tripping like that, just stay out our way. Don't even open your mouth up. Don't even open your mouth up. Disagree under your breath. Smell your own breath. But all your top boys been walked down already. Now these men are saying, creator, you're welcome. And they'd rather talk about conjugating verbs, syntax, grammar. We ain't gonna address the elephant in the room. My young brother Prince been telling that boy to Zoryak, boy, you sucking at the paps of a false deity. What's up? You don't want no smoke behind. Don't damn smoke behind it. Huh? You see Zion Lex conveniently just disappeared and then start just talking about now he's on a campaign to just discredit One West now. I'm like, come on, man. Stop it. Stop it. You been got walked down. That debate you had with my bro C-Law was embarrassing for you. And you supposed to be, the scholar. You on the anti-One West campaign right now. I'm like, oh yeah, that's cute. I mean, we already been known the language was, you know what they say, I buy, God, that shit sound like baby talk. Yeah, we already knew that. Now you want to talk about the chart and the 12 tribe chart. We already knew that. Stuff you saying, we already been knew. And now you want to give the exact conjugation and vocalization of how you say biblical God's name. Is it Yahuwah? Is it Yehovah? Is it Yahweh? Is it Yahweh? Is it Yahweh? You men rather stay right there and argue over that instead of addressing if the deity is false. You dig? So nah. We the wave. Maybe you Negroes are drops of spit. Maybe. But we the new wave, boy. You dig? Let me get back to my brother, C-Law. Boy, you killed this boy right here, man. You dig? And also, too, we roll with each other. So when my bro C-Law was on, when he was on Sonetta, you dig? Of course, I'm a swing through and pop outside. Excellent presentation, debate, smoked them, and all that. And I just had to talk to them boys rough, how I always do. I had to tell the boy Zion Warchild, you ain't never blew no guns at us, to be honest. You just sided with some baby killers. Huh? Like, let's be all the way solid here. Let's be all the way solid here. Y'all don't even agree on nothing y'all over there standing on. I had to tell the boy Apostle, you not no apostle according to the very Bible you read. All of this is a mess. It's just a mess. But you don't want to deal with it. So, hey, Nick Rose like Brother Ladry ass get on there. Oh, you need to apologize to Sonetta and him and some other Negro, a Saul. I don't think it was a Saul and some other Negro. Somebody need to apologize for what? For what? All y'all over there lying. You dig? And Si, if you listening, man, hey, look, get on back to the glory days, man, when it was raw. This is supposed to be a debate coliseum. It's war. Y'all niggas over there exchanging fancy and smooth soliloquies. Huh? Fake ass humility and all. Man, look, if it's a debate coliseum, heads supposed to be rolling around her. Hell, y'all mean apologize to him for what? So I get back to the glory days when it was raw, the SETI years. It was raw. SETI and Eileen Bay and them. It was raw up in this deal. Right now, it's just it's soft. It's dry. Ain't nobody finna listen to no apostle in his groggly voice. Ain't nobody finna listen to Yara monkey ass, the black sage. Brother Lai better not ever do a presentation. He gonna put everybody to sleep. You ain't got no shooters over there. None. So what you mean apologize to him? For what? It's time to come on home. I call it for what it is. If it's the Adjustment Bureau, why you ain't checking Jabari? Why you ain't check your Gail Nepal? Why you ain't check the Sorum Kai when we debated them boys? Huh? They ain't even going to Kemet. Where the Adjustment Bureau at? Get the hell out. I ain't apologizing about nothing. When I pop on, I'm coming to bomb. I ain't cool with niggas. We can talk all that afterwards. If we around each other, we can go get up and go have a drink afterwards and all that. But when it's on, when the bell ring, bro, I'm out for blood. I ain't playing with none of y'all. Because I'm tripping. The average cat may not be tripping. I'm tripping. Too many of our people done went to the grave believing in false gods. Nigga, I'm tripping. Rip. Shout out to the Creative Gang, man. CGG, my brothers and sisters. Shout out to the Four Horsemen, the Turtle Gang. Shout out to my brother Prince Cosmon. Shout out to my brother young Lucio, Louis. Louis was on there bombing the other day. I say, boy, that's what I'm saying. Let's get back to this right here. But look, I'm tripping. The average cat may be milk toast with you and may moisturize his wrist. Not me. Not me. I'm tripping rip. Too many of our people don't went to the grave believing in this fallacy. You dig? And sorry, if you ain't gonna have nobody on there that's gonna bring some energy to the table, what the hell are you doing? The hell are you doing? Oh no, brother, trying to put the leash on niggas. Oh, you can't say this and know this, and man, look, is it a coliseum or not? Is it a coliseum or a daycare? Let's get back to it. Nigga, I'm tripping. Rip. Let's go.
So y'all want to say that the brother won, y'all can say what you want to. Y'all voted the way y'all voted. I ain't hurt.
King Selah Shalom, another victory. Hail me the king, cause that's what it tended to be. War child got crushed, I took him out his misery. Swing swords cut his vocal cords quite sufficiently. Zion under my feet, met his defeat instantly. Trying to compete, run a retreat before you mention me. In the Coliseum, I got eyes on my enemies. In mausoleums, I'm a leaver.
Nah, y'all, I represent the CGG, you know what I mean? I'm affiliated though, but nah. It's Creative Gang and none with me. You know what I mean? I'm trying to pull them brothers about it all that. You know what I mean? The neighborhood and the gangsters and I don't pull brothers about it. You dig? We got false gods to bang against. You dig? But yeah. You know I'm tapped in though. I'm for sure tapped in. Cuzzo just told me he got about 25 navy blue and gold St. Louis Blues. I gotta go get some on my cousin more. You know what I mean? He a neighbor. my cousin a neighbor. Shout out to Porky, man. You know, shout out to Porky neighborhood. Hey man, leave me alone, man. It's all good. You know what I mean? But it's CGG with me all day, every day. Let's rock.
So y'all want to say that the brother won, y'all can say what you want to. Y'all voted the way y'all voted. I ain't hurt.
King Selah Shalom, another victory. Hail me the king, cause that's what it tended to be. War child got crushed, I took him out his misery. Swing swords cut his vocal cords quite sufficiently. Zion under my feet, met his defeat instantly. Trying to compete, run a retreat before you mention me. In the Coliseum, I got eyes on my enemies. In mausoleums, I'ma leave them for coming centuries. Headshot fatal, couldn't recover from his injuries. Bloody gore, ligaments torn. Did him vicious, gut him to the core, give him some more. Straight consistent, settle the score. Cause I'm for sure another victor. Cut through Zion like a knife, decapitate, take life. Put his head on the altar for the ultimate sacrifice. For years you've been living lies, following the myth in the sky. Greco-Roman theology through Ethiopian eyes. You just as blind as Christians who thinking Jesus is why. Truth in front your faith, you lie. Real killers moving silence in the shadow with eyes. The sleeping giant awoke, you know it's been a while. Coming out of hibernation, hungry, thirsty on the prowl. When the conquering lion growling, echoes about a mile. I'm the real god of war, this nigga just a war child. Sacrifice him to his god, now his soul's immortal. Walking through the valley of death on brimstone tiles. Zion wanted smoke, got suffocated by poison clouds. If you can't take the heat, get the hell out the kitchen now. Standing on my square and I'm here to retain the crown. This debate Coliseum, I'm bringing the building down. 2 years ago we told you a new sheriff was in town. Battle of the holy books, bitch, we back you niggas down.
Woo! Man, it's hot up in this case, man.
My brother, man, you brothers, man, I'm telling you. Nothing but love, man. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, look, if you gonna pop it or pass it. You dig? We done. We were never playing with you. You know what I mean? But just to be honest, like, look. It's all fluff. And like I was telling everybody, it just sound good, man. That's it. It just sounds good. You dig? You got Nick Rose. Oh, okay, Bronze, you sent that? Look at my bro, Dred said, aftermath. This is why y'all can't get debates. Not only do they lose, but get dissed on trail. Yeah, we're gonna talk about you. You know what I mean? This is a debate coliseum, right? Bronze said he sent that. Let me see what's up, man. Bronze destroyed the oh my God. And I don't even think it was his first time. And you sleep on Bronze, boy. Play my brother Bronze stuff real quick. There it go. There it go, boy. Ooh, hey. Let's play our brother Bronze real quick. Shout out to Bronze. The East Side's finest. Hold on, Bronze. I like the way you ripped that too, boy. I said, dang, Bronze got off on that one. What's going on? I'm gonna play it now. I got you. CZG all 2026, baby. Me and C-Lock got a shirt presentation coming up. You about to bomb the whole set. I'm gonna share some of the stuff. I mean, look, it don't matter. It ain't going nowhere. It ain't like I can share it and be like, ooh, somebody go, man, look. They ain't ready for none of it. Shout out to my brother Bronze. Shout out to the CGG, man. We're doing a fast right now, too. Just started last night around midnight or something. You dig? All right, let's do this.
Spread you last time, the yoga's your favorite. Open up the O. Making moves to the matrix, like the darkness in the basement. Movements in the making. Hey, horseman took the HOK to the pavement. They say, yeah, Brian, TV on one. Drama NPC.
Right.
I guess I beat my own drum. Used to hold it down for the Bible and dog and Moses. Now you run around with bones in your noses. It's Mona. I can smell it in your nostril. Ain't nothing worse than walking around with false apostles. That shit creep without a paddle. I ain't never seen you niggas steal or raise your hand with the shadow. Is it JJ 7K or JJ Bad? Either way, we know we making JJ mad. Cause mine came through and beat JJ bad. Crying and shit. Somebody get JJ Pad. Would do anything to get some views. Last I heard, he was debating trying to earn money to get some food. How in the hell on your own channel you getting booed? The higher life. Niggas you keep tripping. No lines in there.
See, once the gang get on you, boy, once we bite down, boy, once we lock, my creator gang niggas, boy, shout out to Bronze, yo, man. Shout out to my brother Dreadful Cosmon. Shout out to the gang, man. Once my bros lock on you, boy, it's game. It's over for you and your deity, you and your God. Let's start that over, boy. My nigga Bronze, boy. Woo! Hell calling me, man. Y'all see I'm laughing. It's not my fault.
Y'all niggas kittens.
This is Dreadful Yogi approved.
Spread you last time, the yoga's your favorite. Open up the O. Making moves to the matrix, like the darkness in the basement. Movements in the making. 4 horsemen took the HOK to the pavement. They say, yeah, Brian, TV on one. Drama NPC. I guess I beat my own drum. Used to hold it down for the Bible and dog to Moses. Now you run around with bones in your noses. It's Mona. I can smell it in your nostril. Ain't nothing worse than walking around with false apostles. That shit creep without a paddle. I ain't never seen you niggas steal or raise a dead with the shadow. Is it JJ 7K or JJ Bad? Either way, we know we making JJ mad. Cause mine came through and beat JJ bad. Crying and shit. Somebody get JJ Pad. Would do anything to get some views. Last I heard, he was debating trying to earn money to get some food. How in the hell on your own channel you getting booed? The higher like niggas you getting tripping. No lions in there, tell the truth, y'all niggas kittens.
And this is Dreadful Yogi approved.
I'll tell you, boy, hey, my brothers is on a whole other level with this stuff, man. My brothers is on a whole, I'm telling y'all, the gang is the new wave. Maybe y'all, maybe everybody else, maybe at best, drops of spit. But we the new wave. We the new wave, and you can't deny it, man. Shout out to my brother again, Sila Shalom. He been bombing. Ethiopian Bibles, a product of Rome. He also been touching on James, the brother of Messiah Yeshua. You dig, and how everything switched, man. How everything, you know what I mean? Now you look up and you got Paul's monkey ass and the logos, and all of a sudden Jesus replaces his father, and it's a lot of Greek Roman mythology, Paideia. That's the Greek curriculum you got to go through to even compose Greek literature. You know what I mean? It's a lot, man. Them niggas in there quoting Greek poets who worship Zeus and all types of madness. You know what I mean? So it's a lot that come with that. And what the gang been basically trying to let everybody know is, look, y'all, we've been played. You've been played. You've been played. That's what done happened here. You did. So shout out, man, because bro been really going in and showing and exposing what this deal is all about. Okay, let me go ahead and close out of that real quick. I wanted to share something too. Let me share this real quick. It's various topics or whatever y'all want to talk about, but I got this right here pulled up. Let me see how I'm gonna do this. Let me stop sharing that real quick, and then I'm gonna have to go here. Let's go here. I want to show y'all the Nazarene doctrine of reserve. They came up with a system to vet people that was coming around, because it was people like Paul and Simon Magus, who some people believe may be Paul. You know what I mean? Just teaching stuff that was contrary to what the whole mission was. You know what I mean? So a lot of people don't know, including the elder. I'm not calling you no apostle, because Negro, you're not an apostle. Matter of fact, we'll show that first. Let's go show that this Negro is not no apostle. I be trying to like give y'all some heads up and like watch out, man. Like y'all were over here just saying things because you see them in the Bible. You know what I mean? Okay, what you got? Check email. So play that FTK track I posted. Hold on. This nigga Bronze, man. All right, let me get there for you, Bronze. Hold on. Let me show how this elder misfit is not no apostle. And then I'm gonna play that. Hey, I'm telling you, my creator gang, my creator gang brothers, my sisters too. But my creator, man, hey. Ain't nobody on these levels. You know what I mean? Watch this. Let me pull this on up for y'all. This is Acts, the book of Acts, and I'm gonna go to the track, Brian. I got you. All right. Easy money. Would you say old yellow? So you can prove with the Bible this nigga is not no apostle. I'm trying to tell him that. Like I done told him this several times. Like, bro, you false flagging. You're a self-proclaimed apostle like Saul of Tarsus. You're not an apostle. You're false flagging. Paul went around and started naming people like Silas and Timothy apostles. These niggas never. Man, look, bro. Look, well, let's go into it. Let's go show that real quick, and I'm gonna play that for you, bro. JJ running around with false apostles, then crowned him the king of his little debate league. That was funny. Apostle can't even debate. He just got sound like he got a demon in his throat. All right, so let's show this real quick, man. These are the requirements of being an apostle. All right, these are the requirements. All you got to do is just lick your fingers and go to the book of Acts. It's real simple. It's real simple, man. All right, Acts chapter 1. Acts chapter 1 and 21. Wherefore these men which have company with us all the time that the Master Yahshua went in and out among us. Beginning, so we got a start point. Beginning from the baptism of John until that same day that he was taken up from us, must one be ordained to be a witness with us of his resurrection. So they get a time period. These men that was with us while the Messiah was going in and out among us, meaning they witnessed him in the flesh. They ate with him, they laughed with him, they learned from him, they rolled with him. So that means if you're an apostle, you had to be there. You had to physically know this man. Then it gives a time, verse 22, a time period, starting with his baptism by John, his cousin, until the time that he was taken up. The biblical resurrection. That's the time period. So the people who are qualified to be an apostle had to what? Number one, witness Yahshua go in and out amongst the other apostles and brothers and sisters. And not just his last week of breathing oxygen. No, starting when he got baptized up until the day where he resurrected. These are your requirements. You had to be a day one. If you ain't no day one, you're not an apostle. If you didn't witness John baptize him, you're not an apostle. If you wasn't there when the resurrection kicked off, you're not an apostle. Oh, wait. Look at this. And they appointed two. Who are they? The other apostles. And they appointed two. Joseph, called Barsabas, who was surnamed Justus, and Matthias. Wow. So what did they do? And they prayed and said, Thou, Lord, which knoweth the hearts of all men, show whether these two thou hast chosen. Why? That he may take part of this ministry. Not be out there doing your own thing, Saul of Tarsus. This ministry they already was set up and had instructions on how to operate and maneuver and handle their business. Yahshua passed. He passed it to his brother James. That he may take part of this ministry and what, y'all? Apostleship. Apostleship. These are the requirements of being an apostle. You had to be a day one. You had to be there. You had to witness him going in and out amongst the brothers and sisters, starting with his baptism, ending with his resurrection. Must one be ordained, that he may take part in this ministry and apostleship. Not you twisting your lips and saying, oh, according to my gospel. No, look, the ministry is already happening. They already overseas spread the message. And they gave forth their lots. And, basically, the ancient lot is like rolling dice. And however the dice land, supposedly that's the will of who you call God. And they gave forth their lots, and the lot fell upon Matthias. And he was numbered with who? The 11 apostles. So if you wasn't no day one, if you never witnessed him go in and out amongst the brethren, if you didn't witness his so-called baptism, and you didn't witness the resurrection, the whole point is one has to be ordained, right? To take part of their ministry. They already got something going on. Ain't need nobody to come around later and supplant what they got going on. That they may take part of this ministry and apostleship. So if y'all understand the requirements for being an apostle? Y'all drop a 12,000 in the chat. And then type in what are the requirements. Remember, you had to be a day one. So that means you had to witness him going in and out amongst the brothers and sisters. Beginning when? From the baptism, ending when? At the resurrection. Must one be ordained? Must one be ordained? Oh-wee. 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 So guess what, y'all? That means your boy Apostle to be on Sonetta. Sounding he got Asmodeus in his throat. Is not no apostle, boy. You're self-proclaimed. You ain't witnessed none of that. And guess who else did? Neither did Paul. Come on, man. We got to be real with this thing. We got to be real with this thing, man. And if trip up this, if that don't fit you, then you just not no apostle. Be something else. Be something else. Why you can't just be a student, a disciple, a teacher? Why must the Negro take all the prestige upon himself and call himself an apostle, boy, when you never was there? Oh, wait. Let's get to this track. Let's get to this track, my brother Bronze. He sent another track. This boy ain't playing. What else you got for me, Bronze? What else you got for me, Bronze? Hold on. Hold on, Bronze. Bronze Media. Bronze Media. No, that's what you just sent. Hold on. Bronze talking about bones in your noses. Bones in your noses. Okay. Shout out to Irish Stephens, my beloved sister. Post the link. Kevin did it. Okay, FGK Capone did that one, huh? Okay. Let me see. Boy, did you send it? I don't see it. Let me refresh. And niggas around here calling themselves apostles, and it's getting ugly out here, man. Brian, I ain't got it, bro. I done hit my different parts of my email too. See if you can resend it, or maybe it just ain't. Maybe it just ain't posted yet. But let me show y'all something else. Let me show y'all something else. Let's get into this doctrine of reserve that the Nazarene brothers, you know what I'm saying? That the Nazarene brothers had. Is that it right there? That they came up with. Here, let me show y'all this, man. It's starting to get ugly. It's starting to get ugly, man. And it's time for people to really settle in and understand what this really is, right? And we just went to the Bible and showed that. All right, let me show y'all this. We'll get back into it. We'll go back into the Bible and show y'all James himself. What is this on the screen? What is that, Malachi? I can hear the Millie Mouth Negro now, just so offended. I'm dealing with little, been battling little taste, y'all. All right, let me see something. Let me show y'all what this is. I actually had this full book. All right. I also got the PDF too, so let me show y'all this. Phone over here tripping. All right, let me see if we can catch up for him. Ron's, he be on one. That boy say, with bones in your noses. Hey, man, what's going on? Finally taking time for this stuff to catch up, man. Don't start playing with me. Quote the laws of Moses. Oh, here we go. With bones in your noses. Y'all, this right here is the Clementine Homilies. All right. AKA the Nazarene Acts of the Apostles, or some call it the recognitions of Clement. There's all types of Wait for these pages to load. So right here, anti-Nicene. So this is before the Council of Nicaea. So they got a whole anti-Nicene Christian library. A lot of people don't know that. All right, meaning the writings that were around before the Council of Nicaea did their thing. I gotta forgive you, brother. This can all of a sudden this deal taking its time. But y'all see that? Anti-Nicene Christian library. Right? That means before. Anti means before the Nicene era. All right. Then it's a translation of the writings of the fathers down to AD 325. Look at that. Look at that. You got to be real, though. You still edited by who? Reverend Alexander Roberts. Okay. James Donaldson. But we can't act like so-called who you call Europeans and have their hands on this either. Let's just be honest. That's why the European argument is silly. The so-called who you call the European have touched every piece of spiritual literature that you've ever licked your fingers and came across. You ain't got no mysterious spiritual document that the so-called powers that be don't know nothing about. Huh? You don't got none of that. All right, so watch this. Let's get into this. It's the Clementine Homilies, right? I actually had this book. It's a good read. Come on, man. Yeah. Okay, there you go. See that? Now look. If you look over here to the left, this deal is stamped. This book right here is stamped December 10th, 31 or maybe 81, right? So this is a book right here. This certain book, not saying the Clementine Homilies go back, but I'm saying this actual book right here is over 40 years old itself. All right. Now, if you get into the introductory notice, look at this. Look at this. We have already given an account of the Clementines in the introductory notice to the recognitions. That's the Nazarene Acts, all right? All that remains for us to do here is to notice the principal editions of the homilies. The first edition was published by Coterlius in his collection of the Apostolic Fathers from a manuscript in the Royal Library at Paris. It's in Europe, huh? Okay. The only manuscript of the work then known to exist. He derived assistance from an epitome of the work which he found in the same library. The text of Cotelerius was revised by Clericus in his edition of Cotelerius, but more carefully by Swelgler, Stuttgart. Boy, that boy sounds German, 1847. The Paris Image breaks off in the middle of the 14th chapter of the 19th book in 1853. So back in the 1800s, they was dealing with this. That was my whole point in bringing it up. Now, let's go into the Epistle of Peter to James. We're going to deal with the Nazarene doctrine of reserve. All right. Now, once again, shout out to C-Lot because he brought out James, the brother of Yahshua and the Jerusalem church. All right. Now, look how Peter addresses James. Peter to James, the Lord, meaning the master and bishop of the holy church under the Father of all, through Yahshua the Messiah, which is peace always. So Peter is acknowledging that James is that dude. Peter is acknowledging James that dude. And he's acknowledging his position. He's acknowledging his position. You know what I mean? Now, I heard them Negroes on there. Oh, James just over the Jerusalem church. Hold that thought for a second. Hold that thought for 1 second. Now watch this. Let's get into what Clement wrote to James. Now, y'all have this physical book. This is a PDF I have. But I actually have the actual book. It says exactly what's on it. Then we're going to go back up to Peter and read the understanding they came up with to start vetting newcomers, because everybody wasn't right. You know what I mean? Now, look at this. This is the epistle of Clement to James. Look how Clement addresses James. Clement to James, the Lord, Master, and the Bishop of Bishops, who rules Jerusalem, the holy church of the Hebrews, and the churches everywhere. So the argument they had on Sinetta was, well, James is over Jerusalem. But, you know, you had other people that was over there. Even Zion Crybaby was saying that. Oh, he was over Jerusalem, but you had Mark and them that was over the Coptic church. And listen to me. All of them were up under the orders of James. All of them. It's almost like how you the Roman Catholic Church try to play with the Pope today. You know what I mean? So yeah, other men were sent out to establish communities, right? But they all were up under the authority and order of James or Yaakov, right? Who just so happens to be Yeshua's younger brother. And even according to Paul, James is an apostle. Makes sense. He is little brother, so he grew up with him. Smelt his farts. Slept in the same bed with him probably. Smelt his morning breath. This is his man, little brother right here. Like, can we stop? Let's stop the funnies. Let's stop the funnies. If anybody know what Yahshua wanted, it would be his own family. If y'all understand what I'm saying, drop a 10,000 in the chat, man. This is easy work, really. You know what I mean? And times we be trying to, you know, be patient with y'all, man, because I already know we dealing with information you don't have a clue about. You don't know nothing about what we're talking about. You just spinning your tires in the mud. That's all you doing. Huh? Now look again. Look how Clement addresses this man. Clement to James, the master and the bishop of bishops, who rules Jerusalem, the holy church of the Hebrews, and the churches everywhere. That means they always up under the same authority, same doctrine, same understanding. You see that? Excellently founded by the providence of God. So Clement is saying James is ruling by the authority of God, all the churches everywhere. So even to this day, if you call yourself part of the Messianic movement, you're supposed to be following the teachings of James, Yahshua's brother. Not Paul. All y'all keep running Paul. Paul this, Paul that. Y'all talk about Paul more than you talk about who you call Jesus, and you talk about Jesus more than you talk about his father. This thing is ass backwards. Excellently founded by the providence of God with the elders and deacons and the rest of the brethren. Peace be always. Now let's go back up to Peter and what he was talking about. I just wanted to show that, because that was a goofy argument for these men who supposed to be so-called scholars. Negro, you got the unmitigated gall to call yourself an apostle and you don't know this? And the beautiful thing about it all, because I can hear Negroes now, oh, that's that book. We don't agree with that book. Y'all, it's in the Bible. See, nothing we would be saying would even be valid had it not already been in Scripture. You just choose to ignore it. You just choose to ignore it. So now that we understand James's position, all right? We know who he is. We gonna, matter of fact, let's get there and show. Let's get there and show. So we ain't gotta be, you know what I mean, playing any games around here. Even because that nigga will be, oh, that's James, the son of Zebedee. I'm like, boy, you guys are just, this is starting to get goofy. All right. No, it's not James, the son of Zebedee. We're gonna show that later. Yeah, Jesus had a gang of brothers. Matter of fact, it's time for me to show that. Hold on. He got a whole family. It's in the Bible. Man, look, if y'all don't leave me alone with all this, what we saying in the Bible, I don't know. As for y'all, I don't know what y'all are. What we saying is in the Bible. So just because we can go somewhere else and abundantly prove what we saying, that's not our fault. You know what I mean? When we go outside the scriptures, it just drives a further nail in the coffin. How about that? Let me show y'all. Jesus got a whole family, man. Or Joshua. Got a whole family. Yeah, and that's who was supposed to have been ruling. What you got is a Roman spinoff, a Roman and Greek spinoff. You dig? And really a mockery of you niggas. They're mocking you. Huh? Yahshua revisits Nazareth. Matthew 13, 53 through 56. Easy money, man. Easy money. Yeah. I've been on it for a minute. Now look at this. Y'all look out. Me and CeeLo got a tag team presentation about to hit the web. Oh my God, man. This is about to get catastrophic. It's about to get catastrophic. I'm just gonna be real with you. You know what I mean? Matthew 13 and 53. And it came to pass that when Yahshua had finished these parables, he departed thence. And when he was coming to his own country, he taught them in their synagogue, insomuch that they were astonished and said, whence hath this man this wisdom and these mighty works? They're like, man, this cat is on a whole nother level. Huh? With this teaching. Look at this. Verse 55. Is not this the carpenter's son? Speaking of Joseph. Is not his mother Mary? Is not his mother called Mary? And his brethren who? James. And Joseph or Joseph. And Simon. Like, you know, they call Peter Simon sometimes. And Simon and Judah. Look, the names of his disciples is the names of his brothers. He got a disciple named James. A brother named James. He got a father named Joseph and a brother named Joseph. Okay. He got a disciple named Simon and a brother named Simon. He got a disciple named Judah or Yahudah and a disciple named Judah. And you still think this ain't a bloodline thing going on. You still think that they not mocking you, mocking the brothers. And look what it's saying, verse 56. And his sisters, are they not all with us? Whence then had this man all these things? He had two, so over 7 children total. Yep, 5 boys and 2 girls. Oh, wait. Straight family. Straight family. Oh, y'all, I can hear a nigga. Oh, brother, that's just, you know. Man, look, shut up. Shut up. Your breath stank. Look at this Mark 6. We'll walk you down with it. This is easy. Y'all let me on there, boy. I'm bombing. I ain't even finna play with these boys. Straight kill shot after kill shot. Real. Look at this. Mark 6 and 2. Or 6 and 1. And went out from thence and came into his own country, and his disciples followed him. And when the Sabbath day was come, he began to teach in the synagogue. And many hearing him were astonished, saying, from whence had this man these things? And what wisdom is this which is given unto him, that even such mighty works are worked by his hands? It's not this the carpenter, the son of Mary, the brother of who? James, and Joseph, and Judah, and Simon. And are not his sisters here with us? And they were offended at him. This man got a whole family, man. Huh? This man got a whole family. So before you twist your mouth and say, well, brother, that's talking about James, the son of Zebedee, the brother of John. Oh, okay, so we got a cousin named John who baptized him, and he got a disciple named John. They're double writing this stuff, y'all. They double writing it. To where in the end, you don't know how to make heads from tails. You don't even know. You don't even consider none of this. Huh? Because if who you call the Messiah had a family, that changes the game. If he passed his message to his family and his family was murdered like him, and then the message went overseas, and by the time the dust cleared, your history is being written in Greek from Rome. Huh? By the literary team of the likes of a Titus Flavius Josephus, who's supposed to be one of your people. They're mocking you. That's what has happened. You've been mocked. Look at even Paul. Paul will tell you that James is, and Paul was an op. But when the enemy agreed, hey, I had an enemy of mine the other day agree with me. From a Negro who was trying to call himself trying to put smut on me. I've known this boy for years, 20 years. Call himself trying to put smut on me. Right? And was like, nigga, I got witnesses. I said, well, call your witnesses, nigga. What's good? He called the elder that we all know. I was like, okay, I'm finna sit and see if the elder gonna keep it solid, right? He asked him, did I have anything to do with whatever the hell they was talking about? And the elder, which is an enemy of mine, right? He even admitted on the phone he ain't got no love for me, right? But the elder, who is an enemy of mine, told the boy that was trying to put smut on my name, Mally ain't had nothing to do with that. Cracked his skull. Cracked his skull. You dig? Saying that to say, when your enemy agree with you, ain't nothing to talk about. Huh? Look at what Paul's saying, Galatians 1, 18 through 19. Then after 3 years, I went up to Jerusalem to see Peter, an apostle, and abode with him 15 days. That's called a fortnight, 15 days. But other of the apostles saw I none, except or save James, the who? The master's brother. We got a problem. Because even Paul admits that James is an apostle. Huh? If y'all see that, please drop an 8,000 in the chat for your brother, man. Easy money. Even Paul, who ain't even no real apostle, tell you, hey, James, I went to Jerusalem and checked in. Huh? I went, the other apostles, I ain't seen nobody else but Peter and James when I first went. And then he said, James, he got specific with it. The Lord or Jesus or Yahshua's brother. See, we can no longer play the funnies with y'all. Okay? Now, let's get on back to Peter's letter to James. See, look, we'll walk you down with it. Easy work. And y'all, that's why they really don't want me on side there. They keep muting me and Saki putting me backstage and all that matter. Look, see, with me, I don't take none of this personal. I don't take it personal. Meaning my feelings ain't hurt over it. It's personal with me only because so many have went to the grave believing in a fallacy. So I'm tripping. Like there ain't never a time I'm not tripping. I'm tripping on the false God. Every time. I'm not turning it down. That's just what it is. It did. But if you let me on there and allow me just to roll, you dig? Man, listen to me. So many people listen to me. Gonna be shattered behind it. But we got what's needed to build you up. We ain't like we just destroying something and leaving you out there. Look, the way is this way. Come to find out, James and them was lifelong vegetarians. Huh? Nazarites. You know what I mean? A razor never touched their head. Never tasted flesh. Huh? These are the men Paul had a problem with. So James and them was some Nazi dread. Salute the Nazi dreadhead man. James and them look like that. Huh? Never let a razor touch his head. Huh? Never let flesh touch his mouth. Man, them brothers weren't even drinking wine. Strong drink, nothing. These brothers was top notch. I'm talking about next level type purity. You know what I mean? Real spill. And that's something to strive for. Because you get on them levels, boy, you be unlocking all type of things. But at least we know that, yes, James is an apostle. The fake apostle on Sinetta was trying to say, he was just a bishop. Even your boy Saul of Tarsus admits it. Okay, now let's go back to the left. This is easy work. You dig? So I did that to show that it's in the Bible that Jesus or Yeshua's brothers were apostles. I can show some more. We can go into Corinthians. Paul, they would earn Paul out. And he was like, well, why have the same authority as the apostles, aka the brothers of the Lord? He in Corinthians saying. And then he turned around and called them false apostles. Remember what it takes to be an apostle. Let's get into this letter. Peter to James, the master and bishop of the Holy Church, under the Father of all, through Yeshua the Messiah, which is peace always. Doctrine of reserve. Knowing, my brother, your eager desire after that which is for the advantage of us all, I beg and beseech you. This is what Shimon Kepha, or Peter, is saying to Yaakov Hazedek, James the Just. He said, my brother, I beg and beseech you not to communicate to any one of the Gentiles the books of my preachings, which I sent to you, nor to any one of our own tribe before what, y'all? Trial. Huh? Trial. He saying, hey, I beg you, bro. He hollering at James, Yeshua, brother. Look, don't even give the books of my preaching to no Gentiles or nobody of our own tribe before we vetted them. Makes sense. You might as well put an ad in the paper. You gonna just let somebody like laying with greased up midgets up in her? You just gonna let somebody that's into bestiality and harming children up in her? Also, all somebody gotta do is say, gee whiz, I saw Jesus in the sky. And he good? There's no vetting, there's no trial. What organization does that? Hell, you can't even get a job without what's called a probationary period. You on trial. So he said, he's asking James, please don't even communicate what we got. You know what I mean? To no Gentiles or to anybody of our tribe, our own tribe, because these brothers was Israelites before trial. But if anyone has been proved and found worthy, then to commit them to him, after the manner in which Moses delivered his books to the 70 who succeeded to his church. See, so they already had what's called Gentile protocol. They didn't need nobody like Paul to come around and say, oh, the Gentiles can be saved. They already had a Gentile protocol for the nations, right? And the protocol is the same protocol for those of our own tribe. You up under the same measure of discipline. You can come on up in there. It's all good. But you up under the same rule of thumb. You see? Look at this. Wherefore also the fruit of that caution appears even till now. For his countrymen keep the same rule of monarchy and polity everywhere, being unable in any way to think otherwise or to be led out of the way of the much indicated scriptures. For according to the rule delivered to them, they endeavor to correct. Look, what are they correcting? For according to the rule, come on now, delivered to them, they endeavor to correct the discordances of the scriptures. Hold on. Oh, what is it? Hold on. What you mean discordances? Do that sound like the scriptures are on one accord? Or do it sound like the scriptures have contradiction in them? Huh? Is discordances the scripture being saying one thing, unified, uniform, or is discordances contradictions? Huh? If it's if Peter's talking about contradictions in the scriptures, drop a 1,000 in chat. If he's saying that they endeavor to correct the unity of the scriptures, drop a 1 in the chat. I mean, it's really easy. You see, today you got people around here saying, it's all infallible, and there's no type of contradictions or mistakes. That's not true. That is not true. So, for according to the rule delivered to them, they endeavor to correct the discordance of the scriptures. If anyone happily, not knowing the traditions, is confounded at the various utterances of the prophets. So he's like, look, they got to be raised up in our tradition to know how to read the scriptures, because the scriptures have contradictions in them. And it's according to our traditions. Where did he get his traditions from? Yahshua himself. Wherefore they charge no one to teach. No one to teach unless he has first learned how the scriptures must be used. And thus they have amongst them one God, one law, one hope. So Peter, like, look, we got to vet. We got to vet those coming in this. They shouldn't be, they're not qualified to teach unless they go through our trial. They're not qualified to teach unless they go through our trial. And he in there talking about the discordances. If y'all understand that, drop a 3,000 in the chat. Let's go into chapter 2. Peter goes into the misrepresentation of his doctrine. Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. This is getting ugly. This is getting ugly. Ooh-wee. Chapter 2. Chapter 2. Okay. Let's get into it. This is the Nazarene doctrine of reserve. Nazarene Essene doctrine of reserve. Look at this. In order, therefore, that the like may also happen to those among us, as to these 70, give the books of my preachings to our brethren with the like mystery of what? Initiation. Yeah, you gotta be initiated in. See, everybody's not qualified to teach. You see all these mealy mouth misfortunates like Yahweh, who's the black sage now, and so-called elder apostle, and who else? Captain to Zaryak, and this stuff is goofy, man. It's so many of them, but when I be looking, I be like, man, ain't none of these men even qualified to teach. You're not even qualified to speak on these things, right? Who certified you? Who? You know what I mean? You got to come to the gang. Ain't nobody else out there certified. Like, you got to be creative gang certified to be out here talking what you talking. You ain't certified. There's nobody else out there even talking this. There's a few smidgens of insane Negroes, but they cowards. They cowards. I know them. As soon as the bombs start dropping, they went inside. Yeah, your boys like that one boy, Enoch Ebion, coward. Nigga went scary and ran inside. When I came outside with this, all the niggas went inside. The whole nation, look, these niggas call themselves holding a 20-man panel on me. Different Israelite groups, somehow how they condemn with Hebrews stand against Malaki Macabee. It was 20 degenerates on there. You know what I mean? But they couldn't deal with the doctrine. They couldn't deal with it. So, again, the gang are the only ones I heard teaching this. It ain't these other cats. They cowards. They seen Nazarite Yirmiyahu, coward. He won't even pop it. Soon as we came outside with this, them niggas went inside. and grab their popcorn and watch the bombs start dropping. I'm like, where y'all at? So I can never respect men like that. I can never respect. I have no respect, zero respect for men like that. Huh? So it's like, so when I be looking at Sonetta and I be like, y'all not qualified to teach, bro. You're not. You gotta come to somebody that's been put on this, that's really been studying this and teaching this. And there ain't nobody else out there that's active except CGG. And that's true. I'm not lying. I'm not coming out braggadocious. I'm telling the truth. Who the hell else telling you about James and the church in Jerusalem? Who the hell else telling you about getting away from that flesh? And like, come on, man. Who the hell else telling you about the Creator? You got to be Creator Gang certified. Look at this. Get the books of my preachers to our brethren with the like mystery of initiation, that they, watch this. That they may indoctrinate those who wish to take part in teaching. For if it be not so done, our word of truth will be torn, rent into many opinions. Look at that. Look at that. A lot of all them cats went inside. Maharakal, scared. Your boy Isaiah, Yasha'Allah, coward, scared. Won't none of them debate. None of them. None of them. But you'll pop it, though. And that's what I'm saying. If you ain't finna get in the ring, y'all niggas sound like cowards. Goofies. You won't get in the ring. But you'll pop it, though. Nah, look, either pass it or pop it, bro. That's all you got to do. If you disagree, it's fine. Right? But keep that to yourself. Smell your own breath. But don't act like we ain't got all these light bombs dropping. You dig? And you won't get in the ring, though. You won't line it up. Huh? Look at this. And this I know, not as being a prophet, but as already seeing the beginning of this very evil. For some from among the Gentiles have rejected my legal or lawful preaching, attaching themselves to certain lawless and trifling preaching of the man who is my enemy. Who do you think that is? Who is among the Gentiles teaching that you ain't got to obey no laws? That you ain't got to obey the law. It's just faith. Huh? Whoever teaching that, Peter is saying to James, that's my enemy. It's my enemy. Knows what he called them, attaching themselves to certain lawless and trifling preaching of the man who is my enemy. And these things some have attempted while I am still alive, to transform my words by certain various interpretations in order to the dissolution of the law. Wow. Why you think Christians today lean so heavy on Paul and be like, you ain't got to keep the law? No, it's the blood of Jesus and faith. That's it. You're under the law, you're under a curse. And all that's in Galatians amongst the Gentiles. Who teaching that? And just so happened in Galatians, Paul claimed he punked Peter, checked Peter. This is crazy. It's a to transform my words by certain various interpretations in order to the dissolution of the law, as though I also myself were of such a mind, but did not freely proclaim it, which God forbid. He like, look, man, there's somebody out there among the Gentiles teaching total opposite of what we teaching. So we got to come up with some type of initiation, some type of trial. This very man is my enemy. And now Gentiles are attaching themselves to this man. The end game is the dissolution of living by the law. And he act like I'm down with this. For such a thing were to act in opposition to the law of God, which was spoken by Moses, and was borne witness to by our master in respect of its eternal continuance. Wow. Wow. For thus he spoke, the heavens and earth shall pass away, but one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law. And this he has said, that all things might come to pass. But these men professing, I know not how, to know my mind, undertake to explain my words, which they have heard of me more intelligently than I who spoke them, telling their catechumens that this is my meaning, which indeed I never thought of. But if while I am still alive they dare thus to misrepresent me, how much more will those who shall come after me dare to do so? Let's get into the initiation. Let's get into the initiation. If you're getting some understanding, drop a 4,000 in the chat. Easy money. Easy money. Yeah, I already know Isaiah be in your karate Zaya. I already know he be in your inbox. Okay, but he won't step. He won't catch no fade when it comes to this. Ask him. He know. None of the brothers that I've been around, even from St. Louis to wherever, none of them will step up and catch no fade. Like, none of them. None of them. They're quiet. It's quiet on the set. It's quiet. So you got to ask yourself, what is that? If the brother is so wrong, if the brother is so much out of light and ran out of gas, why he out here light bombing? And it ain't just him. It's a whole gang. They all together. Bombing. No response. Well, you know when you're dealing with legalese or dealing with law, that's called acquiescence, meaning you're silence. But when you go silent, that means you agree. That means you agree. You ain't got nothing back for this. You just huddle up in your own corner and talk, but you won't do it the old school way, right in front of everybody. Lay it on the line. Let's do a spiritual wager. Whoever wrong can't teach no more. Take your YouTube channel down. Nigga, and get the class. That's what I be talking about. Put a wager on the line then. You see? But see, when you got that fire in your gut like that, they already be knowing like, nah, bro, I ain't, man, nigga, I'm out the way. I know. You bet to be out the way. Huh? Let's get into the initiation. This is easy. Therefore, that no such thing may happen, for this end I have prayed and besought you, not to communicate the books of my preaching, which I have sent you, to anyone, whether of our own nation or of another nation, Gentile nations. Before what? Trial. Before trial, y'all. You got to be tested. You got to be certified. You got to learn from those that really know this. But if anyone having been tested has been found worthy, then to hand them over to him according to the initiation of Moses, by which he delivered his books to the 70 who succeeded to his church, in order that thus they may keep the faith and everywhere deliver the rule of truth, explaining all things after our tradition. See, the Messianic movement already had instructions from Yahshua given to James, you dig? And they were supposed to be under the same measure of rule. They were rocking with the same traditions. You got, hey, look, if you wasn't taught by Messiah how to break Torah down, then what you ain't certified to be teaching it. Because you ain't going to him, you going to the scribes. Now we all know about the lying pen of the scribes, right? Look at that. Look at this. Lest being themselves dragged down by ignorance, being drawn into error by conjectures after their mind, they bring others into what? They bring others into the like pit of destruction. Wow. Wow. Now, things that seem good to me, I have fairly pointed out to you. And what seems good to you, do you, my master. He calling James his Lord, because he understands the rank and authority James has given from his brother, right? And what seems good to you, do you, my Lord, be commonly perform, fail well. Now watch this. Now James gets up. Look at it. Y'all can say they scared. Them boys been scared, man. Ain't about none of that. It's all tight. It just sound good. That's what I be saying. That's why when I pop out, I be like, man, look, I'm not finna play with y'all. Because I know y'all had. I know y'all not real with this. Man, last year and the year before, we caught so many Hebrews, like a Zion Lex, a Naphtali. I mean, everybody we talked to was lying. Lying. They did, and just was so, just rectum hurt, rectum torn over a waspy. It's crazy, man. Easy money. Look at this. They're sending me a friend request. Got all type of missed calls coming through her. Therefore, James, having read the epistle sent for the elders, and having read it to them, said, our Peter has strictly and becomingly charged us concerning the establishing of the truth, that we should not communicate the books of his preachings which have been sent to us to anyone at random, but to one who is good and religious and who wishes to teach and who is circumcised and faithful. And these are not all to be committed to him at once. So if a cat want to get out and teach, they don't put the whole curriculum on them at once, because this deal take years. Eventually, you do get circumcised, though. That's why in Acts they were saying you ain't got to put that on them right now. Basically, they're saying you ain't got to put that on them right now. But if Abraham, according to the biblical narrative, was an old-ass man and got circumcised, why can't none of you grown Gentiles? And these are not all to be committed to him at once, that if he be found injudicious in the first, the others may not be entrusted to him. Wherefore, let him be proved not less than what? 6 years. 6 years. Huh? You couldn't just walk up and just say, oh, I believe in your brother. I saw him riding the cosmos. Nah, well, you gotta be initiated. Your trial is 6 years. It's a 6-year trial. No less than 6 years. And then according to the initiation of Moses, he that is to deliver the book should bring him to a river or a fountain, which is living water, where the regeneration of the righteous takes place, and should make him not swear, for that is not lawful, but to stand by the water and enjoy as we ourselves, when we were regenerated, were made to do for the sake of not sinning. Right? Look at this. So eventually you got a baptism to take place, or an immersion. You got a circumcision to take place. You gotta be taught 6 years. You got to be well versed in the traditions of the Messianic movement, given from Yahshua, given from the Most High to Yahshua down to his brother James. And look at the oath. Look at the vow or the oath you got to take. And let him say, I take to witness heaven and earth, water in which all things are comprehended, and in addition to all these, that air also which pervades all things, and without which I cannot breathe. That I shall always be obedient to him who gives me the books of the preachings. And those same books which he may give me, I shall not communicate to anyone in any way, either by writing them or giving them in writing, or giving them to a writer. So look what is Paul doing, having all the books in the New Testament almost. Because look at the initiation. You can't even be out there writing and giving this thing over to those that ain't, you know what I mean? Those that ain't already certified. See? Look what he say. He say, I should not communicate. Here, let me highlight it. I should not communicate to anyone in any way, either by writing them or giving them in writing or giving them to a writer. Y'all heard this? Now, how ironic your boy Saul of Tarsus, if there's 27 books in the New Testament, he got over half of them, or close to half. Look at look at the oath the Nazarene and them had to take. I shall not communicate to anyone in any way, either by writing them. Hold on, Paul is writing the message of the Messianic movement. You dig? And that means he had to go through this initiation right here. Did he? No. No. Paul did not go through this. He came and hollered at James twice. But when he went overseas, he got to speak in his own thing. So when he came back to Jerusalem in Acts 21, James like, look, you see how many thousands of the Yahudim are obedient to the faith? And all of them are zealots, meaning they zealots. You dig? They ain't playing with you. And we are all informed of you that you teach things that are not lawful. So to prove yourself amongst us, you got to take a vow. And you got to pay for the vow over there for those men that's already, you got to pay for it. You see? Prove to us that the things that we hear is false. Hell, he ain't even finished that. Look at him. So the fact that he out there writing but was never initiated is one thing. And then, shit, not only was he never initiated, he ain't even teaching what he was told to teach. I shall not communicate to anyone in any way, either by writing them or giving them in writing or giving them to a writer, either myself or by another, or through any other initiation or trick or method, or by keeping them carelessly. So in other words, the brother put you on this knowledge and understanding that you studied up under for 6 years, that initiated you, you dig? Before you can pass what you got off, you got to do the same thing. You got to put somebody on. You got to put somebody on before you pass this. And when they get past to them, look what they got to do. That person can't communicate to anyone in any way, either by writing or giving them in writing or giving them to a writer. Hey, man, go ahead. You know, this books I got from my, my brother and them. Go ahead and write that out. Either myself or by another, or through any other initiation or trick or method, or by keeping them carelessly. You can even just have the books of understanding and doctrine just laying around on your smoking table, or placing them before anyone, or granting him permission to see them. You can't even look at this. Or in any way or manner whatsoever communicating them to another, unless I shall ascertain one to be worthy, as I myself have been judged, or even more so, and after a probation. You see this? And that after probation of, hold on. Watch this. And after probation or trial, look at this. Not less than what, y'all? 6 years. Yeah, you got to tap in. You can't just walk up and say, gee whiz, like Saul in the sky. And that's the crazy part, because you know what I mean? They already had Gentile, they already were commissioned to go out amongst the nations. Yeah, so this is at the anti-Nicene Christian library. So this is before the Nicene Council, all the way down to 325 AD. So first, second, and what is that, 3rd century? You dig? Oh, wait. But to one who is religious and good, chosen to teach as I have received them, so I will commit them, doing these things also according to the will of my bishop. But otherwise, though he were my son or my brother or my friend, or otherwise in any way pertaining to me by kindred, if he be unworthy, that I would not vouchsafe the favor to him, as is not me. I'm not vouching for him if he ain't worthy. Don't matter if it's my homeboy, my mama, my son, my brother. If you ain't worthy, I can't vouch for you. And I shall neither be terrified by plot nor mollified by gifts. Like, look, you ain't supposed to be shaken in no way. But if even it should ever seem to me that the books of the preachings given to me are not true, I shall not so communicate them, but shall give them back. So this is your vow you taking, that say you arrive at an understanding that the teaching that you was up under is not true. Guess what you got to do? Give it back. And when I go abroad, I shall carry them with me, whatever of them I happen to possess. But if I be not minded to carry them about with me, I shall not suffer them to be in my house, but shall deposit them with my bishop. The bishop is who put you on, who you've been studying up under for 6 years. Having the same faith and setting out from the same persons as myself. But if it befall me to be sick and in expectation of death, and if I be childless, I shall act in the same manner. But if I die having a son who is not worthy or not yet capable, I shall act in the same manner. For I shall deposit them with my bishop in order that if my son, when he grows up, be worthy of the trust, he may give them to him as his father's bequest, according to the terms of his engagement. And that I shall thus do, I again call to witness heaven, earth, water, in which all things are enveloped. And in addition to all these, the all-pervading earth, without which I cannot breathe, that I shall always be obedient to him who give me these books of the preachers, and shall observe in all things as I have engaged, or even something more. Remember, James in Acts 15 gave Paul a doctrine to teach. Not only to teach, but to live by. Abstain from meats offered to idols, from strangulation, from blood, and from fornication. Out of those 4 things, 3 of those got to do with eating flesh. Meats offered to idols, something strangled, blood. All 3 of those got something to do with flesh. And he told Paul, not only do you live by that, but you teach the Gentiles that. You practice what you preach. You see, you got to teach what you was given. To me, therefore, keeping this covenant, there should be a part with the holy ones. But to me, doing anything contrary to what I have covenanted, may the universe be hostile to me. This is the covenant you making, the vow you making. And this is what they came up with to vet the movement, because everybody was just popping up claiming they seen Jesus. Especially Paul monkey ass. You know what I mean? Saw him in the earth, and then your message is totally different according to Paul. His message is totally different from James and them in Jerusalem. It's a different gospel. He admitted in Galatians. The gospel of the circumcision, the gospel of the uncircumcision. But in Galatians 1, he said, if you teach a different gospel than what I teach, you're damned, you're condemned. And what I teach, I didn't get from a man. Well, hold on. Who is James? A man. And when you went to Jerusalem, didn't he give you in writing what to teach? Yeah. Are you teaching it? No. He's not. It's a total different understanding. And that's why I was so much pushback with him, because he wasn't teaching what he was told to teach. He started doing his own thing out there amongst Gentiles, in which the apostles already was out there teaching. You see, he came with his own thing. And the all-pervading ether. Did he say the all-pervading ether? Oh, wait. You mean to tell me we got ether in these documents? Before there's an Owaspy. Good night. Good night. Now, the Owaspy go deep into Etheria and ether and, you know what I mean, the minerals and gases and elements that, you know, make up the universe and all that. But I find it quite ironic that James is saying, like, look, this is how we're going to vow and covenant this thing on in. And in the covenant, he's saying, But to me, doing anything contrary to what I've covenanted, so I already agreed to this, like Paul did, but he didn't do it. May the universe be hostile to me, and the all-pervading who? Ether. And the God who is over all, to whom none is superior, than whom none is greater. But if even I should come to the acknowledgement of another God, I now swear by him also, be he or be he not, that I shall not do otherwise. And in addition to all these things, if I shall die, I shall be accursed, living and dying, and shall be punished with everlasting punishment. Dang. And after this, let him partake of bread and salt with him who commits them to him. So that's the whole initiation right there. Right? And that was James speaking after Peter wrote his letter to him about a certain trifling, lawless teacher that's out amongst the Gentiles. They're teaching contrary to what James was teaching in Jerusalem. See, it ain't hard to see once you, and then look, none of this would be valid unless we read it in the Bible. Look, it's right in the script. The beautiful thing about what we're saying, Paul tells on himself. He tells on himself. He writing his own letters, letting it be known, I don't rock with them. All you got to do is slow down and read it. You're going to be like, whoa, hold on, run that back. What did he just say? James, having thus spoken, the elders were in an agony of terror. See? So Peter, right, that we need to come up with an initiation. James, like, all right, well, this is what we're going to do. After James had spoken this, the elders were in agony, and an agony of what? Terror. Terror. Are we about to get into Galatians? Truth is truth. You listen. You're up Dung Creek without a paddle. You have no clue of what's being said. No clue. And the crazy part about it, we're gonna use Paul's own letters to show you who he talking about when he say another gospel. We ain't got to guess. We ain't got to do none of that. You dig? The deal is most of our people, whether they Christians or so-called Israelites or even Jewish, you dig? Most of them are speed reading through the scriptures. You're not pausing, stopping, extrapolating, getting everything about it. Galatians is one of my favorite books because Paul tells on himself. He tells on himself. Even when you get in Galatians 5, when he talk about, I wish those would be cut off that trouble you. But if you jump back up to verse 1 in that chapter 5, he talking about circumcision. And how you curse and how Jesus is none effect to you if you're circumcised. Nigga, where you reading that at? That ain't in Torah nowhere. And then he get all the way down to verse 12 and say, I wish those would be cut off who trouble you. And you thinking, oh, just, excommunicated. No, look the word up. It means to be castrated. The removal of the love muscle and testes. He go on record and say, hey, if they over here teaching circumcision, tell them I said remove everything then. Now, even if you agree with circumcision or not, you ain't finna jump out there and say that. But the crazy part about it, who was teaching circumcision to the church of Galatia? According to Paul, who teaches the gospel of circumcision? James, Peter, the apostles and elders in Jerusalem. And he just said in chapter 1, if you got another gospel, you're damned. Chapter 5, he doubled down on the circumcision. You dig? And say, tell them to remove it all then. If they teaching circumcision. If you're circumcised, Jesus won't profit you at all. Nigga, where are you getting that from? Paul is just talking. He ain't, look, the nigga is just making this stuff up on the fly. If you pray having your head covered, you dishonor your head. Where is that in the Torah? Where are you getting this from? Hey, your boy's compromised. Major league. Now look at this. Look at this. Hey, look, it don't matter because we about to go into Galatians. We're about to go right into Galatians. So if what he's saying in Galatians is in agreement with what we reading, it don't even matter when this came out. It don't even matter. We can go right into the Bible and show you that this man is hostile toward these brothers. And he was teaching something totally different. Easy work. Right? Look at this. It said right here. Therefore, James, perceiving that they were greatly afraid, said, hear me, brethren and fellow servants. If we should give books to all indiscriminately, and they should be corrupted by any daring men or be perverted by interpretations, as you have heard that some have already done, it will remain even for those who really seek the truth, always to wander in error. Wherefore, it is better that they should be with us, and that we should communicate them with all the forementioned courage to those who wish to live piously and save others. If anyone, after taking this adoration, this vow, this oath, shall act otherwise, he shall with good reason incur eternal punishment. Why should not he who is the cause of the destruction of others not be destroyed himself? The elders, therefore, being pleased with the sentiments of James, exclaimed, blessed be he who, as foreseeing all things, has graciously appointed thee as our bishop. Look at that. James is the leader of the whole movement. And when they had said this, we all rose up and prayed to the Father and God of all, to whom be glory forever. Amen. That's Peter's letter to James and James's response. Now remember, James is the biological brother of who you call Yahshua the Messiah. Introduction to the letter. Peter to James, the master and bishop of the Holy Church, under the Father of all, Yahshua Messiah, which is peace always. This is easy work, right? Shout out to young Prince Judah Vaughn, my brother. They keep bombing. Kill shot after kill shot. Yeah. You know, man. And we ain't finna play with you boys. Now, and also, Clement, how does he address James? Again, the epistle of Clement to James. Look at this. Epistle of Clement to James. Clement to James. Clement to James. The master and the bishop of bishops, who rules Jerusalem and the holy church of the Hebrews and the churches everywhere. Ooh, excellently founded by the providence of God, with the elders and deacons and the rest of the brethren, peace be always. Good night, boy. Good night, boy. Ooh wee. If you're getting some understanding, y'all drop a 2,000 in the chat for your brother. It's your little brother. It's your little brother. Y'all drop a 2,000 in the chat, man. I'll drop a 2,000 in the chat. All right. I'll drop a 2,000 in the chat. Let's get back into this book of Acts. This is easy money, man. Walk these boys on down. Paul was a self-proclaimed apostle. Self-proclaimed. I need to get into that Nazarene Acts too. And they talk about how false apostles were sent out. And unless they get stamped valid by James and teaching what James is teaching, the Lord's brother, then they are not to be received. Woof. We'll get there too. Let's go to Acts, the earliest print. Let's go to Acts 12. Acts 12. Acts 12. Let's go into it. Because people still try to say, oh, that's James, the son of Zebedee. No. It's time to step your game up, man. It's time to step your game up. You know what I mean? Look, the Bible is telling you James running. So you can be stuck wherever you claim it didn't write this. Peter. The whole Bible is a pseudonymous document. Peter didn't write 2 Peter, so where are you going now? Now, the Gospels weren't written by eyewitnesses. Where are you going now? Like you think the Gospels were written by eyewitnesses who were with them or something? No. No, your earliest gospel was Mark, and that's after the fall of Jerusalem in the 70s. Matthew don't come out to like 85 of the Common Era. And if we going by the biblical narrative, Jesus died in the 30s. So there's no way when these documents are being written in Greek 60 years after this man's death, and they didn't compose literature in Greek. How do we know this? The Dead Sea Scrolls are in Aramaic. That's 1st century before the Common Era and 1st century of the Common Era. They're written in Aramaic. So we were literate. We just wasn't composed in literature and bodies of work in Greek. So your Gospels wasn't written by eyewitnesses. It did. Majority of the books in the Bible are pseudonym, meaning the person who wrote it is not the person whose name is on the document. Hell, even your Gospels were anonymous documents for the first 100 years after they were written in Greek. You don't want to play that game. So-and-so didn't write something. Nigga, you don't know who wrote nothing in the Bible, to be honest with you. Moses didn't write the Torah you have today. The earliest you got is Ezra. The Torah was burnt when they went into Babylon. They ain't have no Torah. You came out of Babylon with a refurbished Torah. Ezra and the men of the Great Assembly. Look it up. So when it says the books of Moses, that's a pseudonym. That's a lie. Moses didn't write none of it. How do you know, Malachi? Because the Torah was burnt. That's why in 2nd Ezra, the 14th chapter, verse 21, they had to reestablish the Torah because it was burnt. The law was burnt. You see? This is easy money, man. You really don't want to go there because look. What's going to happen is you're going to get your feelings hurt. You get your feelings hurt. You dig? It's just literature, man. You dig? And you're supposed to navigate through it and use from it what'll make you a better person, individual, spiritually progress you. And whatever don't apply to your spiritual walk, you just leave it where it is. We don't put paint where it ain't. You don't put paint where it ain't. For instance, in Leviticus, where they talk about the burnt offerings, you got to chop the damn goat's head off and cut out the organs and cut the fat off and chop the legs off. And then wash the legs and the organs, draw blood border, you dig, and throw the dismembered corpse of either the person or the animal on that altar and roast that sucker. That ain't got nothing to do with me. Ain't got nothing to do with me. You see what I'm saying? So I don't put paint where it ain't, meaning if it don't apply to me, I leave it right where it's at. I leave it right where it's at. It has nothing to do with me. You know what I mean? So watch this. Peter's arrest and deliverance. Messiah is our big brother. That's what that is. We don't worship a man, period. We roll with the Almighty Creator, the one who sent his son. When Jesus was being tempted in the wilderness, and he was tempted with worship, he said, you only supposed to worship the Almighty only. That's how we roll. When they asked Jesus how to pray, he said, our Father who art in heaven. That's how we roll. We don't praise no man, angel, animal, Holy Ghost, Spirit, none of that. No. You your own Savior. Save yourself. But don't the Bible tell you that? See, you probably just spilled your cup. The Bible tell you to work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. The Bible tell you to deliver yourself. Save yourself. That's Old and New Testament. You really want to go there? No, you don't. Now watch this. Back to this. Because some people who talk this, this is James, the brother of, all this extra, So watch this. Now about that time, Herod, the king, the damn Herodians, come on now, stretched forth his hand to vex certain of the church. And he killed James, the brother of John, with the sword. So James, this James right here, is not the James, the brother of Messiah. You see? And if you really want to be honest, there's a lot of double writing going on. It's a lot. It's a lot. You know what I mean? But just to be fair, based off the biblical narrative, this James is not the James Paul just called an apostle. This James is not the James we just read about standing up and putting everybody up under oath like, hey, now watch this, and we're going to prove it. Watch this. And he killed James, the brother of John, with the sword. So if you understand that James, the brother of John, is killed by Herod, or one of Herod's sons, in Acts 12, verse 2, drop a 5,000 in the chat. I'm trying to see something. Because this is the next argument. It's not James, you know what I mean? It's not James, the brother of Jesus. It's James, the brother of John. Well, James, the brother of John, got killed by Herod in Acts 12 and 2. Y'all see that? If you see that, put a 5,000 in the chat. All right? And because he saw it please the Jews, he proceeded further to take Peter also. And then were the days of unleavened bread. And when he had apprehended him, he put him in prison and delivered him to 4 quaternions of soldiers to keep him, intending after who? Easter. To bring him forth to the people. Easter should not be there. That should be Passover, right? That is a purposeful, on purpose mistranslation. You can't mistake Pascal for Easter. It's not the same thing. So what scribe put Easter there instead of Passover? And in later versions, they try to correct it. Yeah, that's just something small right there to show, yes, the Bible does have contradictions. Why the hell is Easter right there? What you gonna say? Which Easter you talking about? They don't. What the fuck you mean with Easter? I'm talking about Easter is a pagan fertility ritual. Peter therefore was kept in prison, but prayer was made without ceasing of the church under God for him. This is when Peter's about to get let out of jail and all that, right? So look, and when Herod would have brought him forth the same night, Peter was sleeping between 2 soldiers, bound with 2 chains. And the keepers before the door kept the prison. And behold, the angel of the Lord came upon him, and a light shined in the prison. And he smote Peter on the side and raised him up, saying to rise up quickly. And his chains fell off from his hands. And the angel said unto him, gird thyself and bind on thy sandals. And so he did. And he said unto him, cast your garment about thee and follow me. And he went out and followed them, and wist not that it was true, which was done by the angel, but that he saw a vision. Watch this. And when they were past the first and second ward, they came unto the iron gate that leadeth into the city, which openeth to them of his own accord. And they went out and passed on through one street, forthwith the angel departed from him. And when Peter was come to himself, he said, now I know of a surety that the Lord hath sent his angel, and hath delivered me out of the hand of Herod, and from all the expectation of the people of the Jews. And when he had considered the thing, he came to the house of Miriam, the mother of John, whose surname was Mark, where many were gathered together praying. And as Peter knocked at the door of the gate, a damsel came to hearken named Rhoda. And when she knew Peter's voice, she opened not the gate for gladness, but ran in and told how Peter stood before the gate. But Peter continued to skip down. But Peter continued knocking, and when they had opened the door and saw him, they were astonished. Look at this. But he beckoned unto them with the hand to hold their peace, and declared unto them how the Lord had brought him out of prison. And he said, go show these things unto who? James. Well, this is not James who was just killed in verse 2. What James is this? What James is this? Why do Peter got to send word to James about him being let out of prison miraculously? James is the one calling the shots. James is the one running it. James is Yeshua's little brother. You see? He got to go holler at James. And he's like, look, send word to James what them happened there. Go show these things unto James and to the brethren. And he departed and went to another place. Oh, wait. So why is Peter telling You know, everybody else, the rest, hey, let James know what didn't happen. Let James know and the rest of the brethren what didn't happen here. I'm about to get up out of it. You see? Why you got to go holler at James? Why you got to go holler at James? For what? For what? If he ain't the one running it, James' judgment. Oh, we in Acts 15 now. James' judgment. This is when Paul comes to Jerusalem according to Acts. And pay close attention because in Galatians, he tells a different story. So which one we rolling with? That's right, Christ is not the creator. Yeah, we got shooters on the roof, man. You didn't bitch, I don't care how many pages it'll come back when you expect it. Nah, player, keep it moving. Keep it moving, boy. Niggas get mad. See, that be your deity coming out of you. Go on over there and smell your own breath. Anyway, James' judgment. And after they had held their peace, James, and now this is a Jerusalem council. James is the head of it all. And after they held their peace, James answered, saying, men and brethren, hearken unto me. Hearken unto me. Listen to me. So, look, when you go to 12, then all the multitude kept silence and gave audience to Barnabas and Paul, declaring what miracles and wonders God had wrought among the Gentiles by them. Look at this. And trip off this. Paul even get into it with Barnabas. This nigga got a problem with everybody. Now watch this. James' judgment. Okay. And after they had held their peace, and it's a whole bunch. There's a gang of them. Right? This is not a private meeting. This is not a private meeting. Paul in Galatians acts as if it's a private meeting. No, it wouldn't. This was done the old school way, right in front of everybody. Multitudes, thousands of them. And after they had held their peace, James answered, saying, men and brethren, listen, hearken unto me. Shema, Simeon, Simon. I sure got a brother named Simon too. It's crazy. Simon have declared how God at the first did visit the Gentiles to take out of them a people for his name. And to this agree the words of the prophets as it is written. After this I will return and build again the tabernacle of David, which is fallen down. And I will build again the ruins thereof, and I will set it up. That the residue of men might seek after the Lord, and all the Gentiles upon whom my name is called, saith the Lord who doeth all these things. Known unto God are all his works from the beginning of the world. Wherefore my judgment, this is James talking, my judgment is, my sentence is. Don't a judge hand out sentences? Huh? This man is running the whole thing. Just like Clement acknowledged in his letter to him. He run all the churches everywhere. Like Peter in his letter to him. Lord and bishop that runs the church of the Hebrews. Huh? Paul admits that James is an apostle. Huh? We go to Acts 12th chapter. Peter miraculously get let out of jail and send word to who? James. Not James, the brother of John, the sons of Zebedee, but James, the brother of Yahshua. And now we get to Acts 15, and we see James giving a judgment, a sentence. This is what you teach when you out amongst the Gentiles. They already had Gentile protocol. Wherefore my sentence is that we trouble them not, which from among the Gentiles will turn to God. Don't trouble them. Don't put all this on them at once. We just read the initiation. Eventually, you got to get circumcised. Because this was on the table. It was circumcision, meats off of the idols, blood, things strangled, and fornication. These were the things that were on the table at that Jerusalem council right there. So James said, look, don't trouble them. I mean, you ain't got to put all of it on them at once. Eventually, you got to get circumcised, though, according to this. Right? Regardless how you feel about it, I mean, hey, some of us like, man, I'm not spilling no blood, whatever. It did. But I'm just going off the biblical narrative. What is it saying? Wherefore my sins is that we trouble not them which from among the Gentiles turn to God, but that we write, I go to writing, that we write unto them that they abstain from pollutions of idols, and from fornication, and from things strangled, and from blood. Oh, wait. This is what James is writing. This is his judgment. Let the Gentiles know who want to join the Messianic movement. You got to get rid of them idols. You got to abstain from pollutions of idols or meats offered to idols. Feast offered to idols. Days offered. You got to let that go. You got to let that go. So all the Easter and your Christmas, all that your Janus and your New Year's, and you got to let all that go. Your Valentine's Day, and you got to let that go. Let that go. So it said, for Moses of old time, having every city them that preach him, being read in the synagogues every Sabbath day. Now, watch this. Let's jump down. Verse 29. Let me show you what he told Paul. Right here. 29. Ooh-wee. That you abstain. Now he's telling you, right to the Gentiles to abstain from pollutions of idols, right? And then he tell Paul that you abstain from meats offered to idols. So you got to practice what you preach. And from blood, and from things strangled, and from fornication. From which if you keep yourselves, you shall do well. Farewell. Good night. Watch this right though. Watch this. Now, this is where Paul gets into it with Barnabas. This is why I had to get your boy to Zoyak with. Y'all for y'all time, what y'all time y'all for? Y'all forgot what's time about Sula. Y'all let y'all for our people, y'all. Somebody timed out Yafa, let her back on. and some days after Paul said to Barnabas, let us go again and visit our brethren in every city where we have preached the word of the Lord and see how they do. And Barnabas determined to take with them John, whose surname was Mark. But Paul thought not good to take him with them, who departed from them from Pamphylia and went not with them to the work. And the contention was so sharp between them that they departed asunder, one from the other. And so Barnabas took Mark and sailed on to Cyprus. And Paul chose Silas and departed, being recommended by the brethren under the grace of God. So Paul and Barnabas ended up getting into it. Paul and Barnabas ended up getting into it. Like he done got into it with everybody. This man's a maniac. Let's go to Galatians 1. Back to Galatians. See? You read that Galatians next to that letter of James and that Acts. Look, you're going to get some understanding. Easy work. Let me play some music real quick. Play some music. Y'all gonna get y'all some water, stretch your legs. We almost done. Easy money. Hold on one second. Hey, fresh spray. Yeah, Nick Roach is being in denial, man. That's all I need. Go get y'all some water real quick. I gotta pay this water bill. You know what I mean? Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Always marvelous to see the brothers, man, brothers and sisters, the family, CGG in the building. Hey, the gang is the wave, man. CGG is the new wave. You understand? CGG is the new wave. The rest of you Negroes, at best, maybe a drop of spit. But we the wave, man. Easy money, easy money. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all make sure y'all for good, man. How y'all do that? Nah, you some butt hurt Negro. Truth is true. Shout out to my brother Cosmon Kruger in the building, and double salute to this brother. I remember he first started his page, and he just got to over 1,000 subscribers. Man, Cal, keep cooking. Keep cooking, my brother. You already know what time it is, man. Just walking these boys down in Bible. You know how we do. All right, so look, let's go to Galatians, man. Let's go to Galatians. You feel me? Galatians chapter 1. All right, we done read all this about Paul and, James. And so look, this is Paul's letter to the Galatians. Now, it's crazy because your boy Peter was writing to them too. Let's go show that real quick. Why is the message different? Why is the message different? Let's show you Paul wasn't the only one writing to the Galatians. Peter was too. What you think is a game? What you think we playing? Y'all must be think we playing. Walk you boys down with all this. Peter, an apostle with Jesus Christ, to the strangers scattered throughout who? Pontus and who? Galatia. Paul was not the only one writing to the assembly in Galatia. And remember, Peter teaches the gospel of circumcision. Paul teaches some mysterious gospel that he calls the gospel of uncircumcision, and he tries to call it the gospel of Christ. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. But watch this. Let's go back to Galatia. So we see Paul is not the only one writing to the assemblies in Galatia. Peter did too. If y'all see that, please drop a 3,000 in the chat. Most people think that only Paul wrote to Galatia, the assembly in Galatia. Nah, Peter did too. A man whom Paul claimed he punked in this letter right here. He claimed he punked him in front of everybody. So Paul is trying to defend his ministry. He's trying to prove to the assembly that he's a certified apostle. Nah, man. Nah, the jig is up. The jig is up. You had to be a day one to be an apostle. Beginning from the baptism by John to the day that Yeshua was taken up, must one be ordained to take part of this ministry and this apostleship. And then Matthias was numbered with the other 11 apostles. There is no 13th apostle. That's it. That's it. And I'm talking about according to the biblical narrative. We can have different arguments or whatever. If we stick with Bible, there is no 13th apostle. It's only 12. Good Lord. Good Lord. Y'all, this is a freestyle. Like I'm just off the cuff with it. You know what I mean? This is just what we do. That's what I'm saying. If you ain't created gang certified, none of those men on the HOK are qualified to even teach these matters. None of them. None of them. Not your boy Apostle, not your boy Black Sage. This nigga got a porn name now. Not Cappy Tazoryak. Not none of them. They're not qualified to teach. You ain't went through the initiation. You did? Like you don't know this, but you out here talking about Bible. And this is in Bible. Huh? You're not qualified. That shows us you're not qualified. You're not. You're not qualified and certified. The gang are the only ones with the testicular fortitude to get out here today and go against the grain and talk about these things. So guess who you got to come to and learn from to get certified in this? Us. And that ain't bragging. It's just the truth. You can try some of them coward ass he seen niggas like Ebion Negro, who I personally pulled out the streets almost 20 years ago. You dig? And put him on a whole Israelite path. But when the bombs start dropping, you ran your scary ass inside. And start trying to bring up finances or some crazy. Man, look, bro, you niggas is soft. And then your boyfriend, the Essene Nazarite Yirmiyahu, he won't even pop nothing. He won't even step outside and defend what he's talking about. So again, you ain't gonna learn this from nobody that that let them drag. That are men. You ain't gonna learn this from nobody but the gang. That's what I'm saying. Not in the conscious community. You ain't gonna learn this from nobody else but us. The other men that know this are cowards. Straight up and down. Weak men. Scared of confrontation. And that war kicked off, them niggas went and got their popcorn and started laughing. Now look at this. This is Galatians. It is Galatians, right? Paul, an apostle, knows what he say. Not of men. Neither by man. But by Jesus Christ and God the Father who raised him from the dead. Wow. What do you mean, not of men? Who are the men that it has Yahshua's mission and message? Surely you got to go holler at them, right? What do you mean? How the hell do you become an apostle, but you wasn't day one? So this is Paul right here telling you he's a self-proclaimed apostle. Anybody can tell you, you dig, that I saw Jesus in the sky. And now I am an apostle. But that ain't the protocol. An apostle had to be a day one. You had to been there. You had to witness Messiah going in and out. You know what I mean? You had to witness the immersion or the baptism. You had to be a witness of the resurrection. If that ain't what it is, you not that. Paul's not an apostle because it's only 12. If Paul's an apostle, that's 13. It's real simple. But the fact he keeps saying not of men, neither by man, well, the only men who got the mission and in charge of it are the apostles back in Jerusalem. So are you making your separation from them? Gotta be. Look, and all the brethren which are with me unto the churches of Galatia. Paul had his own movement going on, man. We see Peter already writing to Galatia. What you doing writing to them? Why is your message different? Look at this. Grace be to you and peace from God the Father and from our Lord Jesus Christ, who gave himself for our sins, okay, that he might deliver us from this present evil world, according to the will of God and our Father. Look at this. To whom be glory forever and ever. Amen. Look at this. Verse 6. I marvel that you are so soon removed from him that called you to the grace of Christ unto what? Another gospel. So he's writing to the assembly in Galatia. Even though Peter already wrote to the assembly in Galatia, he's writing to the assembly in Galatia and saying whoever else is writing to you is bringing you another gospel. Well, on the record, who else was writing to the assemblies in Galatia? On record. You can say, oh, that was just some mysterious rebel or what? No, according to the Bible, who else was writing letters to the assembly in Galatia? Peter was. We read the letter of Peter to James. He said, it's a man out there amongst the Gentiles that's teaching things that are contrary to the law and everything that we teach, James. So we got to come up with an initiation or something. They got to go through trial for 6 years or something, man, because there is a certain, he used the word trifling. Huh? Unlawful preacher out here teaching things that are contrary and acting as if I'm down with that, in which I never was, God forbid. So if Peter is on record in 1 Peter 1:1 to the assemblies in Galatia and Pontus and Bithynia, well, that means Paul is not the only one writing to the assembly in Galatia. On record, we got Peter writing too. Remember that. Remember that. So now he goes and says, I marvel that you are so soon removed from him that called you into the grace of Christ unto another gospel. Huh? Well, who the hell else are teaching the gospel of Messiah or the good news of Messiah? The apostles in Jerusalem under the authority of James. And then they being sent out. You see? Who else is teaching a different gospel than Paul? Don't worry, he gonna tell you. Watch this. Which is not another, but there be some that trouble you and will pervert the gospel. But though we or an angel from heaven preach any other gospel unto you than that which you have preached, than that which we have preached unto you, let him be accursed. Accursed means damned, condemned. Why? What are you throwing condemnation out for? For what? Huh? As we said before, so say I now again, if any man preach any other gospel unto you than that which you have received, let him be accursed. He's damning whoever's teaching something different than him. For do I now persuade men of God? Or do I seek to please men? For if I yet please men, I should not be the servant of Christ. There's only one group of men that got the gospel or the message of Messiah outside of Paul. And it's the apostles. Yeah. He didn't say a different Torah portion. This ain't got nothing to do with no Pharisees, no Sadducees, no scribes, none of that. Paul is talking gospel and a different gospel than what he teaches. It is. But I certify you, brethren, that the gospel which was preached of me is not after man. Hold on. How? It's not. Who else taught you? If Yahshua left the mission to his brother and them, where you get yours from? Oh, when Jesus appeared to you in the sky, he taught you all this. For neither I received it of man, neither was I taught it, but by the revelation of Jesus Christ, whether he was revealed to you, boy, when you was on your road to Damascus. Look at this. But when it pleased God who separated me from my mother's womb, well, to be separated or sanctified from your mother's womb means you're a Nazarite, boy. It ain't saying like you just because you was delivered from your mama's womb. To be separated from your mother's womb means you're holy from the womb. I mean, you on your Nazarene, the scene tip. You understand? No rays on your head, no flesh in your mouth. And call me by his grace to reveal his son in me that I might preach him among the heathen. Remember, they already got people out amongst the Gentiles teachers. They already got Gentile protocol. We've been read it today. Immediately I conferred not with flesh and blood. Why not? Wasn't you just killing all them? Why you didn't go and holler at James and say, hey, man, hey, look, bro, in all humility and all that, hey, man, please forgive me. You ain't do that. Look what you did. Neither went I up to Jerusalem, to them which were apostles before me. But I went where? Into Arabia. Whoa. The hell is you going into Saudi Arabia for? And returned again unto Damascus. Why are you not going to check in with the bros? So you don't go to Jerusalem where men are, but you go to Arabia where men are. Come on, man. Come on, man. Look at this. Then after 3 years, I went up to Jerusalem to see Peter and abode with him 15 days. But other apostles saw I none save who? James, the Lord's brother. So he admits that James is an apostle, right? But the whole deal is he's cursing those that teach a different gospel to him, right? And he's not the only one that's writing to the assemblies in Galatia. Peter is too, right? Watch this. He ended up throwing Peter under the bus too. He ended up throwing Peter under the bus too, like he threw Barnabas under the bus. Now look at this. The council at Jerusalem. Let's see if this lines up with Acts. And notice the Bible dictionary got Acts 15, 1 through 21 on there. Look at it. Then now remember, he teaches that if you teach a different gospel, that you're damned, right? Look at this Galatians 2 and 9. Man, my stuff keep tripping. Look at the Galatians 2 and 9. Let's get right to it. And what is that? Right. 2 and 7. But contrariwise, when they saw that the gospel of the uncircumcision was committed unto me, as the gospel of the circumcision was unto Peter. Well, y'all, those are two different gospels. Those two different gospels. The gospel of circumcision and the gospel of uncircumcision is not the same gospel. He just said if you bring another gospel, you're condemned, damned. And we also know that Peter is what? Writing to Galatia as well. And he's up under the gospel of circumcision. Remember that. Let's go back up to verse 1. Then 14 years after, I went up again to Jerusalem with Barnabas and took Titus with me also. That don't make sense because in Acts, you only go to Jerusalem twice. Acts 15 and Acts 21. All right? So is that what I'm saying? This don't even line up with Acts 15. That was the first time you went up there. You know what I mean? Not to be in Jerusalem itself, but to go up there and talk bit messianic business. And 14 years after, I went up again to Jerusalem with Barnabas and took Titus with me also. And I went up by revelation and communicated unto them that gospel which I preach among the Gentiles, but privately to them which were of reputation. Lest by any means I should run or had run in vain. No, bro. No, this was not no private meeting. Acts 15 was done in front of a multitude, thousands of people. And why you got to explain to them the doctrine that you teach among the Gentiles when James already gave you the doctrine to teach? This man's telling on himself. Why you got to have a private meeting? With those who are in reputation or the leaders of the church? Why do you got to have a private meeting with them? If you're teaching what James told you to teach. You teaching something different. Watch this. But neither Titus, who was with me, being a Greek, was compelled to be circumcised. Oh. And that because of false brethren unawares brought in, who came in privately, spy out our liberty, which we have in Christ Jesus, that they may bring us into what? Bondage. What you mean bondage? That's bondage now? To whom we gave place by subjection. No, not for an hour, that the truth of the gospel might continue with you. Hold on. So you saying you went up to Jerusalem and popped your shit and argued with everybody? That ain't what it say in Acts. Look, James stood up, gave a judgment. This is what you teach the Gentiles, and this is what you live by. The same thing. There wasn't no private meeting in front of a few brothers and all that. That ain't what Acts say. That ain't what Acts say. Look at this. So he's saying he ain't in subjection to those in Jerusalem. Those who were in this private meeting, y'all, were those of reputation, meaning the leaders of the movement. Right there, verse 2. But privately to them which were of reputation. So then he go to verse 5. To whom we gave place by subjection. No, not for an hour. The truth of the gospel might continue with you. But these who seem to be somewhat, whatsoever they were, it make no matter to me. God accept no man's person. For they who seem to be somewhat in conference added nothing to me. Now he's lying. What you mean nothing was added to you? You mean you tell me you went up to Jerusalem, popped your shit about circumcision, and that the leaders of the church ain't had nothing else to say to you? That's a lie. It's a lie. Acts 15 says to abstain from meats offered to idols, from things strangled, from blood and fornication. That's the doctrine you was given to teach. What you mean they ain't add nothing else to you after you came to Jerusalem and caused some ruckus? Nah, that's not what Acts says. It don't say it. And notice it seemed like he lightweight dissing them, don't it? But of those who seem to be somewhat. Well, let's read it in a different version or something real quick, man. Because it sounds like to me, he be popular. To me. I could be wrong. Let's go over and see real quick. We almost done, man. Easy money. Let's see where this leads us. Let's go to some different Bible translations of this Galatians 2 and 6. So we already see that the one that's writing to the Galatians that teach a different gospel is Peter. Look what he say. NLT. Look at this nigga, man. Look at this cat, man. Look what he say. And the leaders of the church had nothing to add to what I was preaching. By the way, their reputation as great leaders made no difference to me. But God has no favor. Well, the leader of the church is who? It's James. And all the apostles are rolling with what he's talking about. And he got the nerve to say that the leaders of the church had nothing to add to what he was preaching. That's false. That is a lie according to Acts 15. You ain't just slide up into Jerusalem and pop your shit about no circumcision and punked everybody and got about her. Nah. You ain't punked nobody in Acts. You was put up under command and order and told what to teach. Slow down. He's telling himself. I had to have a private meeting with them and then, to talk to them about, what I teach. Because I ain't want to run in vain. Well, you wouldn't have ran in vain if you was just teaching what you was told to teach. See, he teaches a different gospel. It's called the gospel of uncircumcision. Peter teaches the gospel of circumcision. Well, he's saying Galatians 1, 6 through 9, whoever teaches a different gospel is cursed. That's crazy. Yep, look at that NLT. That NLT killed it. Right here. And the leaders of the church had nothing to add to what I was preaching. By the way, their reputation as great leaders made no difference to me. God has no favorites. Well, brother, that's not true. That's not true at all. What you mean he has no favorites? He has those that he still has a rank and order. In certain ways that he wanted to get things done. So he's saying the leaders of the church ain't say nothing to him about nothing else. He popped it based off circumcision and basically say he punking everybody. And we all know Peter and them teach the gospel of circumcision. But contrariwise, when they saw that the gospel of uncircumcision was committed unto me. Who gave you a gospel called the gospel of uncircumcision? Paul? Where are you getting this from? Where? Even if you bring up Abraham, eventually he got circumcised according to the biblical narrative. And again, however you feel about that is whatever. That ain't my point. My point is, according to what the Bible is saying, even Abraham got circumcised. So why wouldn't a grown-ass Gentile have to? If Abraham was 100 and cut himself. The gospel of the uncircumcision was committed unto me as the gospel of circumcision was unto Peter. Now watch this. For he that wrought effectually in Peter to the apostleship of circumcision, same was mighty in me toward the Gentiles. Wow. Now remind you, they already out there teaching them on the Gentiles, y'all. What about Peter and Cornelius? Acts 10. Now watch this. And when James, Cephas, which is another name for Peter, and John, hold on now. We dealing with, we already, Galatians 1:19, James is the Lord's brother. He's an apostle. We all know who Cephas or Peter is. John is another apostle. Knows what he say? Who seem to be pillars. What you mean seem to be? Paul got a problem with those that's in charge, y'all. He has a problem with them. Who seem to be pillars, perceive the grace that was given unto me. They gave to me and Barnabas the right hands of fellowship, that we should go into the heathen and they into the circumcision. No, bro, they was already out. It was already given a commission to go out amongst the nations. Now watch this, verse 11. But no, notice he's calling names out. And when James, Cephas, and John, who seemed to be pillars, seemed to be. Look at what he say. But when Peter was come to Antioch, I withstood him to the face, because he was to be blamed. Now we already read he got into it with Barnabas. Watch this. For before that certain came from who? James. He steady throwing James' name out there. Paul got a problem with James. James was sending men through it. You in Antioch, James got men there. You in Galatia, James got men there. If they coming from James, they're being sent by him. Well, before that certain came from James, he did eat with the Gentiles. When they were come, he withdrew and separated himself, fearing them which were the circumcision. And other Jews, know what it say right here. And other Jews dissembled likewise with him, and so much that Barnabas also was carried away with their dissimulation. The dissimulation means hypocrisy. So he calling James, John, Peter, and Barnabas hypocrites. You think it's a lie? Watch this. Let's go to the actual lexicon. This is easy money, y'all. Easy. Watch this word. That deal say right here, dissimulation. G5272. Dissimulation. What does that mean? Oh my God, this nigga's calling these niggas hypocrites and all type of stuff, bro. Gonna play for it?
Strong's G 5272. Hypocrisies.
Man, he calling them hypocrites. And he naming names. James, John, Peter, Barnabas. James, John, Peter, Barnabas. He calling them hypocrites. Hypocrites. Watch this. Hypocrisy, dissimulation, condemnation. The acting of a stage player. Dissimulation, hypocrisy. He calling these men hypocrites, y'all. And the other Jews dissembled or were hypocrites likewise with him, insomuch that Barnabas also was carried away with their dissimulation. But when I saw that they walking out uprightly, and mind you, this is a one-sided story. When I saw that they walking out uprightly, according to the truth of the gospel, I said unto Peter, I said unto Peter before them all, if you being a Jew live after the manner of Gentiles, wow, and not as do the Jews, why compare you to Gentiles who live as do the Jews? So he just said that Peter lived like a heathen. Now remember, in that letter from Peter to James, he said, it's a guy out there amongst the Gentiles, pump faking and acting as if I live lawless. Who the hell he talking about? Paul. It's this nigga Paul. He over here telling you all them hypocrites, I withstood him to the face. They teach a different gospel. When I went to Jerusalem and popped my shit, they ain't say nothing else to me. He's writing this to the assembly in Galatia. Why? Because Peter already writing to the assembly in Galatia under James' orders. Wow. We who are Jews by nature, not sinners of the Gentiles, knowing that a man is not justified by the works of the law. Oh, really? But by the faith of Jesus Christ, even we have believed in Jesus Christ that we might be justified by the faith of Christ and not by the works of the law. For by the works of the law shall no flesh be justified. That's a word salad. But notice, he got a problem with everybody. And he naming names. Ain't he? Look. And when James, Cephas, and John, so he throw their names out there. But when Peter was come to Antioch, I withstood him to the face because he was to be blamed. For before that certain came from who? James. All right. He also says that what? The gospel of the uncircumcision versus the gospel of circumcision. If you teach any other gospel, you're damned. Let's go to Galatians 5. Let's show you how Paul really feel about circumcision. Let's go to Galatians. Galatians chapter 5. This is not lick your finger scholarship. Walk you down with this, using this man's own letters. Galatians 5:1. Let's get into it. Let's show you how you really feel about circumcision. Because after all, Peter teaches the gospel. So Peter, James, John, all them teach the gospel of circumcision, right? Coming out of Jerusalem. You said that the leaders of the church ain't say nothing else to you because God don't even favor them. You claim you went to Jerusalem and popped your shit and got up out of there. No, you didn't. Not according to Acts. Not according to Acts. You didn't. You admitted in Galatians that you teach something different, though. That's why it's a problem. Galatians 5:1. Stand fast, therefore, in the liberty wherewith Christ has made us free, and be not entangled again with the yoke of bondage. So whatever he's talking about, he's looking at it as slavery, bondage. Look at it. And behold, I, Paul, say unto you, that if you be circumcised, Christ shall profit you nothing. So any other brothers that are circumcised, you can't follow Jesus according to Paul. You can't follow Jesus. Circumcision shall profit you nothing. That is, for I testify again to every man that is circumcised that he's a debtor to do the whole law. That's like saying there ain't a man. That's like saying even though men are circumcised, you know what I mean, they weren't sinning. Stop it. That why would you have your offerings and all that, your sin offerings and your peace offerings and your, there's a system in place, ain't it, just in case you do sin, right? Christ is becoming no effect in you. Whosoever you are justified by the law, he's talking about the law of circumcision. You are fallen from grace. For we through the Spirit wait for the hope of righteousness by faith. For in Jesus Christ neither circumcision availeth anything nor uncircumcision, but faith which worketh by love. So he's saying, if you believe in Jesus Christ, you ain't even got to keep that precept of the Torah to say get circumcised, whether it's your 8-day circumcision with your child, your son, or you an old joker like Abraham was. He's saying Christ don't benefit you none if you circumcise. Then he try to blow it off like it really don't mean that. Okay. Look at this. Ye did run well, talking to you Galatians. Who did hinder you that you should not obey the truth? This persuasion comes not of him that called you. Hold on. Well, who is teaching the assembly of Galatia about circumcision and Messiah? Peter's writing to him. 1 Peter 1:1. And according to Paul, he teaches the gospel of circumcision, which is a different gospel from his. That's why he had so many problems with them, bros. And he condemned them in chapter 1. If you teach a different gospel, you're damned. Well, the gospel of circumcision, this is how you really feel about it. Watch this. This persuasion cometh not of him that called you. A little leaven, leaveneth the whole lump. So now, leaven is sin symbolically with Bart. So now he's calling circumcision not only bondage, but sin. Look what he said in verse 12. I would they were even cut off, which trouble you. You are, brother, that means, cut off, excommunicated. Look at this verse 12, man. But remember, he's talking about circumcision. The law of circumcision, that's what he's talking about. That's like the gospel of circumcision. That's what he's talking about. Well, who teach that? He already told you. You ain't got to guess. You don't got to guess. He's telling you. Look what this means right here. Good Lord. Good Lord. That deal say outline of biblical uses to cut off or amputate. Now remember, the subject is what? Circumcision. Right? So he going for, I say, I wish they was cut off which trouble you. I wish they were, won't they just go remove the whole thing? Oh, you think it's a game? Look. To amputate reflexively by irony, to mutilate the what? The privy parts. The privy parts. Makes sense because you're talking about circumcision, right? So this don't mean I wish they was cut off or excommunicated. That's not what that means, brother. That he's saying if you teaching the assembly in Galatia, the gospel of circumcision, whoever is teaching you this should remove their love muscle and their testes. Is it a game? Is it a game? Look at this, NLT. I just wish that those troublemakers who want to mutilate you by circumcision will mutilate themselves. Look at this. As for those agitators, I wish they would go the whole way and what? Emasculate themselves. What does it mean to emasculate? ESV. I wish those who unsettle you would emasculate themselves. I wish those who are disturbing you might also let themselves be mutilated. He ain't saying excommunicated. He's saying removal of the love muscle and the testes. If y'all see that and you know your little brother ain't making this up, drop a 12,000 in the chat, please. Please. NET. I wish those agitators would go so far as to castrate themselves. Oh, okay. Well, let's look up emasculation and castration. I mean, the castrate definition. Good Lord. Come on, man. Like you got at some point you got to go ahead and call a spade a spade. Paul tells on himself. And he got a problem with the apostles in Jerusalem. He didn't call all of them hypocrites, damned them for teaching a different gospel to him, admitted that the gospel they teach is the gospel of circumcision, while he teaches this mysterious gospel of uncircumcision. Then he go as far as say whoever is troubling the assembly of Galatia with circumcision need to castrate themselves. Good Lord. Is this true? Look at this word. What does it mean to castrate? Come on, man. At some point, you got to be real with yourself. Share this tab. Castration. Look at it. He ain't saying be excommunicated. He's saying that they teaching you circumcision. Them niggas need to remove their love muscle and their testes. Castration is any action, surgical, chemical, or otherwise, by which a male loses use of the testicles, the male gonad. Surgical castration is bilateral, or I don't even know how to say that, excision of both testicles, while chemical castration uses pharmaceutical drugs to deactivate the testes. Some forms of castration called sterilization, permanently preventing the castrated person or animal from reproducing. Do y'all hear this? This is what Paul is pronouncing as a judgment on those who teach the gospel of circumcision or the law of circumcision, which he admitted Peter and the apostles in Jerusalem do. And this the nigga y'all roll with? Y'all roll with this cat. Die-hard Paul followers. Castration has been used by humans for various types of slavery, such as in the eunuchs of the Ottoman Empire, as well as a terror tactic in warfare. It was incorporated into Chinese law during the Zhao dynasty. In the USA, Thomas Jefferson wrote a bill in Virginia reducing the punishment for rape, polygamy, or sodomy from death to castration. A slave attempting to rape a white woman in Virginia could be castrated. Good Lord. This is evil. Hold on. This is beyond diabolical. What does it mean to emasculate? Emasculate. Don't get mad at me. Your beloved Paul is saying it. You mad at me for it. Good Lord. Look, y'all just leave me alone, please. Please. Just how about we just leave me alone. What is emasculation? This is what Paul is calling for. Is the removal of the external male sex organs. Wow. That's your love muscle. That's your love muscle. Is the removal of the external male sex organs, which includes both the love muscle and the scrotum. The latter of which contains the testes. It is distinct from castration where only the testicles are removed. Good night, boy. This nigga Paul saying whoever teaching this deserves to be what? Emasculated. Right there. Now, wish those who unsettle you would emasculate themselves. I wish those who are troubling you would even emasculate themselves. This nigga Paul is telling y'all that whoever is teaching circumcision, which he already named who teaching it. Peter and the apostles in Jerusalem. He already named it. Now let them go as far as to emasculate, remove the love muscle and the testes. Wow. Houston, we got a problem. Houston, we got a major league problem. would you say, C-Live? The mysterious gospel. I'm gonna leave it right there for the night, man, because but we can go in on Paul all night. Like, dude was on one. We can go through Galatians, Corinthians, 1st and 2nd Corinthians. Oh my God, man. The nigga straight telling on himself. Come on, y'all. He's cursing the apostles and them. In other letters, he's saying if you got long hair, it's a shame. And if you eat herbs only, you're weak in faith. But them brothers only had long hair. No razor never touched their head. Them brothers was lifelong vegetarians. They never swallowed pork or beef or lamb or none of it. Who is Paul really dissing? Who does Paul really have a problem with? Who? Who already told you to abstain from meats offered to idols, and then you turn around and call it the doctrine of the devil in Timothy? Y'all roll with this nigga? Come on, man. Eventually somebody got to be real with this and be like, you know what, man? Nah, bruh. You know what I mean? Nah, bruh. So remember, CGG, we forever tripping on your deity. Let's rock.
So y'all want to say that the brother won? Y'all can say what you want to. Y'all voted the way y'all voted. I ain't hurt.
King Selah Shalom, another victory. Hail me, the king, cause that's what it tend to be. War child got crushed, I took him out his misery. Swing swords cut his vocal cords quite sufficiently. Zion under my feet, met his defeat instantly. Trying to compete, run a retreat before you mention me. In the Coliseum, I got eyes on my enemies. In mausoleums, I'ma leave them for coming centuries. Headshot fatal, couldn't recover from his injuries. Bloody gore, ligaments tore, did him vicious. Gut him to the core, give him some more. Straight consistent. Settle the score, cause I'm for sure another victor. Cut through Zion like a knife, decapitate, take life. Put his head on the altar for the ultimate sacrifice. For years you've been living lies, following the myth in the sky. Greco-Roman theology through Ethiopian eyes. You just as blind as Christians who thinking Jesus is why. Truth in front your face and you seem they can't get it right. Jah Rastafari, not gonna save your life. Real killers move in silence, in the shadow of night. The sleeping giant awoke, you know it's been a while. Coming out of hibernation, hungry, thirsty on the prowl. When the conquering lion growl, it echoes about a mile. I'm the real God of war, this nigga just a war child. Sacrifice him to his God, now his soul's immortal. Walking through the valley of death on brimstone tiles. Zion wanted smoke, got suffocated by poison clouds. If you can't take the heat, get the hell out the kitchen now. Standing on my square, and I'm here to retain the crown. This debate Coliseum, I'm bringing the building down. 2 years ago, we told you a new sheriff was in town. Battle of the holy books, bitch, we back you niggas down.
Woo! Man, it's hot up in this case, man.
Spread your last time, the yoke is your favorite. Open up the O, making moves to the matrix. Like the darkness in the basement, movements in the making. 4 horsemen took the HOK to the pavement. They said, yeah, Brian, TV on one. You're my NPC. I guess I beat my own drum. Used to hold it down for the Bible and dog to Moses. Now you run around
Bones in your
noses. It's smoker. I can smell it in your nostril. Ain't nothing worse than walking around with false apostles. Up shit creep without a paddle. I ain't never seen you niggas steal or raise the dead with the shadow. Is it JJ 7K or JJ Fad? Either way, we know we making JJ mad. Cause mine came through and beat JJ bad. Crying and shit, somebody get JJ pads. Would do anything to get some views. Last I heard, he was debating trying to earn money to get some food. How in the hell on your own channel you getting booed? The higher light, like niggas you getting tripping. No lions in there, tell the truth, y'all niggas kittens.
This is Dreadful Yogi approved.
One more time.
You want to say that the brother won? Y'all can say what you want to. Y'all voted the way y'all voted. I ain't hurt.
King Selah Shalom, another victory. Hail me the king, cause that's what it tend to be. War child got crushed, I took him out his misery. Swing swords cut his vocal cords quite sufficiently. Zion under my feet met his defeat instantly. Trying to compete, run a retreat before you mention me. In the Coliseum, I got eyes on my enemies. In my mausoleums, I'ma leave him for coming centuries. Headshot fatal, couldn't recover from his injuries. Bloody gore, ligaments tore. Did him vicious, gut him to the core. Give him some more, straight consistent, settle the score. Cause I'm for sure another victor. Cut through Zion like a knife, decapitate, take life. Put his head on the altar for the ultimate sacrifice. For years you've been living lies, following the myth in the sky. Greco-Roman theology through Ethiopian eyes. You just as blind as Christians who thinking Jesus is why. Truth in front your face and you seem to can't get it right. Jah Rastafari, not gonna save your life. Real killers moving silence in the shadow now. The sleeping giant awoke, you know it's been a while. Coming out of hibernation, hungry, thirsty on the prowl. When the conquering lion growl, it echoes about a mile. I'm the real god of war, this nigga just a war child. Sacrifice him to his god, now his soul's immortal. Walking through the valley of death on brimstone town. Zion wanted smoke, got suffocated by poison cloud. If you can't take the heat, get the hell out the kitchen now. Standing on my square and I'm here to retain the crown. This debate Coliseum, I'm bringing the building down. 2 years ago we told you a new sheriff was in town. Battle of the holy books, bitch, we back you niggas down.
Woo! Man, it's hot up in this case, man.
Well, even your boy Sinetta had to let it be known, like, man, look, them gang boys, hey, man, hey, look, it ain't nobody that can do it better. You know what I mean? The gang is the new wave. Again, the rest of y'all at best may be drops of spit at best, but you ain't. It's too rapid fire. It's too many bombs back to back. You know what I mean? I noticed that Sabi trying to, throw the leash out and control. You can't control us, huh? You dig? And unless you let the reins go and get back to the glory days when it was raw. You understand? Bro, that shit is gonna fade to oblivion over there. There's a whole bunch of niggas conjugating verbs and claiming they scholars and don't nobody want to deal with the deity. You know what I mean? See, I swung through and killed this nigga Zion War Child and his deity. Put his head on the floor. I mean, if you got somebody better than what y'all already put in front of us, whether it's to Zoryak, he didn't get put in the blend. Matter of fact, my little bro Prince been punching on this nigga. Like I'm talking about non-stop. Prince, keep going. Keep applying pressure. Don't let up off him. Nah, don't let up off him. Keep punching on him, bombing him. Y'all don't want to hear us, but we put shooters in the streets. Yes, Prince is one of them. Yes, Prince is one of them. You see what I'm saying? And you can't even deal with bro. Y'all can't even deal with him. You know what I mean? So shout out to the CGG, man. Shout out to the Four Horsemen, Turtle Gang. Shout out to all the brothers and sisters, you know what I mean? Repping Creator. That's what we rep. We ain't dealing with no deities, no idols, no men, no none of that. Creator or nothing. You know what I mean? And y'all know it ain't nothing but love, man. Just keep it going, though. You feel me? You know what I mean? Just keep it going, man. And applying pressure. It's CGG all 2026. Look, man, we got some stuff that's about to hit the airwaves. It's about to, like, look, they continue to try to keep avoiding us like the plague. You understand? It won't work, though. It's too much light, too many bombs being dropped. You dig? And one thing about me and my brothers, we ain't gonna play soft with you. You get in the ring, his gloves off. I'm not playing. You can talk all that brotherhood and you can go have a drink or something afterwards. But listen to me. When that bell ring or that shot go off, you dig? We come to handle business. We come to handle business, and we'll make us dangerous. We up, right? But we play like we down. We play like we down. You know what I mean? We don't even take for granted you niggas ain't on our level. You feel me? If one of y'all getting rid, just like we did with Kimmy when we got in the ring with them, I'm talking about park them boys 6 feet under. Put your beloved Scholar Jabari in a blender, had a paw looking like the dingbat she is. And Asar Kara came out with the damn Big Bang that was invented by George Lemaitre in the 1930s. You understand? So look, when we get in the ring, it's gloves off. I'm not coming to exchange nothing smooth with you. You dig? Too many of our loved ones that went to the grave believing in this bullshit. You dig? So I play hard. I play ball with the false gods. I'm not playing. I'm not playing. And I'm forever tripping. Yes, it's so much mess we got to clean up. You understand? It's so much that we got to do. Yeah, and guess what? It ain't going to get done exchanging fancy and smooth soliloquies. Huh? With false humility blowing smoke. Nah. You get in the ring, we coming for your head, boy. We going to put your head and your deity head on the floor. You dig? And if you got the, the testicular fortitude to rap after that, then we can do that. Cause we ain't just leaving you, we ain't just leaving you dead, we giving you life. We giving you the greatest of all, the creator. The maker of every God that you ever uttered out your mouth in your prayer breath. Dear Father God. Oh, dear God, dear Father God. You talking about a God. I'm talking about God's maker. Can't compete with it. It's too much. You know what I mean? Too much rapid fire, too much bombing back to back. You can't deal with that, man. Can't deal with that. You did, but if niggas want to get in the ring, we gonna play. We play ball, boy. We play ball. You know what I mean? And even though we be up, and I love that about all of us, we up, but we play like we down. We play like the game on the line. We be always past you niggas. Like, y'all don't even be having nothing on the scoreboard. You dig? We still playing like we down. Huh? That's what make us dangerous. We don't never take our foot off the gas. No, we gonna play like we down, boy. Though we winning, we still play it like we down for. Huh? Shout out to Rick Hyde, man. BSF all day. Much love, family. All praises to the Heavenly Father. I'm the creator, the always was, is, and ever shall be, the mighty and great spirit, the mighty and great I am, whose magnitude is incomprehensible and whose presence is everywhere, not in the form and figure of any of his creation, a man, a woman, an angel, or an animal, creators unseen. And even as Yahshua say in John 1:18, no man has seen the Father at any time, nor heard his voice, nor seen his form. You see that? I roll with that. That makes sense. So when we read something in Owasby that say the same thing, hey, what are we arguing about? You see? So much love, man. All praises to the creator, the God maker. Right? And much love to the brothers and sisters, you know what I mean, of the CGG, the gods and goddesses, the sons and daughters of the creator. You dig? Who I'm talking about, who press the line, whether they be on social media or in our real life. You know what I mean? I ain't letting none of that shit slide. No. We got people that went to the grave and still bound to the deity. And what I look like being milquetoast with you niggas? Nah, I'm banging. I don't care about none of that. Yeah, about none of that. You know what I mean? I read about Joshua when he went to Jerusalem. He checked niggas. Like, man, look, they end up killing them. So we already know what y'all about. Huh? Do the bidding of your master. I wish I would muzzle this. Because some niggas don't like it. I'll get less than a damn who don't like it. So what? So what? Debunk it then. You see? You can't deal with when the fear of death is off the table, that's a whole nother monster you got to deal with. We even know the system in order when it comes to that. So you ain't stirring nobody about nothing. I found that out. I was already, I was already screw loose. Didn't care nothing about that. But once I found out what it really, man, look, I wish I would shut up. Well, some niggas don't like what we say. I'll get less than a half a damn what you like. You dig? We gonna talk about it. Either we gonna talk about this, or you gonna get in the ring, you dig? Or you gonna stand in the corner over there and smell your own breath. That's what it's gonna be. That's what it's gonna be. You dig? But if you really want to chop it up and rap, let's do that. We can get everything out. What we think Battle of the Holy Books is? Get everything on the table. Let's see what's what. Y'all mad because we don't play it soft. Oh, brothers and sisters, let us reason together. Dear Father God, man, look, you ain't finna wake no people that's in a spiritual slumber. You ain't finna wake nobody up like that. You dig? You better come through like my old dude used to come through when he was living. You dig? He used to come through. Hey, get y'all ass up, cutting lights on and hey, get up. We gotta go. Okay, dang. That's how you wake up people up out of their spiritual slump. You gotta stop playing. Being all nice and milquetoast and smooth like parquet. No. Punch you right in your mouth. Get your ass up and come on. You don't see what's going on right here? You gotta talk. Sometimes you gotta talk to people like in a way to make them kind of, even though you get mad, it's still like it make you want to do something about it. Let me go look up and see what he's talking about, man. You got me messed up. Go look it up. I'm gonna blow your mind. You dig? So salute to all the brothers and sisters and all that. I'm just your little brother, and y'all know people be offended at me, but I know no other way to play but hard. I can't play it soft. It don't suit me. I can't play no, dear Father God and brothers and sisters and all this kumbaya. And I ain't never seen so many men so soft in my life. You know what I mean? You niggas might as well moisturize your wrists. When the women do that, they put like some perfume on to be doing all this. Y'all might as well start doing that. You dig? So much love, much respect, and everything, y'all. As always, all praises to the Almighty. Shout out to the haters, jaw jackers, and naysayers. Yeah. We love y'all too. Creative gang of Don't Bang, man. It's your little brother Macabee, and guess what? I'm out of here. Love and light.